talk about the deep state. We talk about the globalists.
Inflation versus deflation. Well, I mean,
You're at Mar-a-Lago. I'm baffled that this isn't front page news.
Do you guys support a specific political party, or do you dislike both of them?
Oh, it worked like a charm on you guys.
Let's go, Brandon.
All right.
Come on, baby.
What is up, Patriots?
Oh,
we
let's
did
go.
it. We're finally in office. He made it. We made it. Oh, striking difference in the sentiment, the feeling from 4 years ago today. I remember, like it was yesterday, Trump walking away like as if he was like escaping DC with the village people playing while he was flying away back to Mar-a-Lago, and like who knows what was going to happen. But my God, what a feeling today. So much to talk about. We got reportedly ICE is thinking about giving out $750 per illegal immigrant that you self-report. Trump is declaring war on the cartels, first time ever. 200 executive orders today. We got to talk about Biden's last-minute pardons. Sheriff Grady Judd, the famous viral sheriff from Florida, is ready to set a nationwide example for how to deport illegal immigrant criminals, with Florida as the case study for that. We got the internet going crazy about Elon's Nazi-looking salute. So
It wasn't even, bro. I mean,
we'll get into it.
We'll get into it.
Kamala's face and Biden's face. Well, Trump was just eviscerating them right in front of them, and then Carrie Underwood's like standing right in front of her and saying that was great. Trump's already talking about pardoning Enrico. What's his name? The Proud Boys guy. A lot of stuff to get into. So we got Cam, we got Humberto via audio. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Cam, can you hear Humberto?
Very fake. Very
Here
fake.
we go.
I'm here.
I think your audio's off, but what's up,
Yeah,
Cam?
it's off. What's going on?
What's your biggest like thing on top of mind today?
Man, I'll tell you what. It was a fresh breath of air, dude. I feel like 100 pounds less. I feel like America's healing. It's starting to heal. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest for me. I've kind of texted around different people, and everybody's very excited. You know what I mean? I feel like that is a general consensus that's going on. I know we're going to get into all these things, but even with him, just right off the bat on that rally he had at Capital One building, he's already signing executive orders. And I mean, I think it just makes a beautiful statement right there. Like, I'm not doing anything behind doors. I'm going to do it right in front of you guys. You know what I mean? He's not trying to hide away. He's already sticking to his word day one. You know what I mean? So It's driven by action, not just, words. And I think it's a beautiful time to be alive, man. It's a beautiful time to be alive.
100%. And it's like, when something terrible happens, that the proper response can happen. I mean, like, unfortunately, we just saw that a random, Border Patrol agent that got moved to Vermont.
Yes.
Like,
so there's
stopping. Yeah, go ahead.
So in Texas, a Texas border agent was moved up to Vermont because there's information or intel that tells that there's going to be immigrants are going to now try to go north, right? They're going to try to go to Canada. They're going to try to exit the United States through the north. And he had a stop. It was a routine stop, and he got shot up. And the driver as well is deceased as well. And it's sad. It's already showing what could be possibly coming and how serious it is. The borders are. He was spoken today. That I just see it on Fox News. They kind of asked him a question. They're like, "Hey, you called off Chicago. How come?" And he goes, "Well, information was already out there, and so we made the call not to. We made the call not to go forward with Chicago." He said, "The world will find out, though. In America, we'll find out what we'll be doing in the coming days." But I think it's gonna be more of it's gonna happen. It's done. This is what we did. It's not gonna be so much of a heads up. We're hitting New York next. We're hitting Connecticut. We're not whatever it may be. It's not gonna be so much of a spill the secrets early on. It's gonna be as it's going on or whatever. You know what I mean? Which I think is the best way. It's the best way to do it.
Yeah. So do we have Humberto in here, or do we not?
No, he's officially out.
Can you hear me?
No. In SteamYard.
Yeah, why are you responding to him?
So I hear him in the background. Your background noise. Not.
I can hear my mic. Can you hear me on the microphone, Brandon?
Yeah, I could hear you.
How about the chat? Can you hear me, chat?
Yeah, chat. Let us know if you could hear Humberto.
I'm on the YouTube right now, and he doesn't show up.
Oh, no, I won't show up with him on the same audio, Brandon.
Yeah.
Do you guys have to switch on and off the mute? Try switching the mute.
No.
Yeah, like we're just saying, can you hear the guy?
Oh yeah, I can hear him in the background. Yes.
That's all we're asking. So we're
okay. I thought you meant like
Yeah.
headphones clear.
all right. So first of all, guys, I got kicked off YouTube before earlier today because I was streaming like C-SPAN's thing, and I don't know, I guess they kicked me off for third-party use or whatever. I mean, Benny Johnson was doing the same thing, but I guess you have to like put some background music and like put a logo up to cover their watermark, whatever. But that's why if you guys were watching before, it got like deactivated. But we're all good. Just a warning, not a strike. What was your biggest takeaways for today, guys? So I mean, I think first we got to talk about Biden randomly pardons like the worst people on earth, like at the last possible second. He pardons Mark Milley, Anthony Fauci, Liz Cheney, all the January 6th committee people, Jamie Raskin, like the biggest rats in the universe. And I mean, I'm going to put up a poll right now. Like, who do you despise more between Mark Milley and what's his name? Mark Milley and Anthony Fauci? Because I think I have an answer on this, but this is a tough one. Cam.
Oh, you're asking me. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm asking you first.
I'm looking at the chat real quick before I say they can't really hear Humberto. I'm just letting them know he's talking from the room from here. Man, for me, it's clear, man. It's Fauci. It's Fauci for me.
Really?
I think
From a military guy, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I mean, listen. The military stuff sucks, right? War isn't pretty. The exit of Afghanistan sucked. And that is that's big on my list. You know what I mean? But when it comes to America itself, what Fauci did to America, to kids in school, the young, the way they really altered in the propaganda, the way they messed with social media, the way they messed with the news, false information, to me, all of that is unforgivable. That is above military stuff. That is more for me blasphemy, man. It's against the United States. You know what I mean?
I agree with Cam because even he's on top of everything. Like the orders, they affect a lot of military personnel. A lot of people left the military because of the vaccine mandates, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was way bigger for every single American citizen.
Which he did thankfully say today that he's going to reinstate everybody who's kicked out for that with full back pay. Which I thought Congress already did that. Didn't Congress already do that?
Okay, so they got other than honorable discharge. Anybody who didn't want to get the vaccine. A lot of my buddies actually refused it. And what they did was that they reinstated as a honorable discharge with the option to get back into the military. That was it. Okay. So pretty much it was like, hey, my bad. You got honorable discharge. If you want to come in, here's a clear, straight road back to where you were at. A lot of people said no. I mean, to be quite honest, all the people I know didn't go back. And I mean, with this administration, with what we had known that was going on within, you didn't want to be part of that.
Right. I bet we're going to see like off the charts military reenlistment because of this.
I think
compared to what it's at.
I think you're going to see some retention with hope that it gets better. I think you will see that. And I think as far as re-enlisting goes, as far as, veterans who got out coming back will go back in. I think a lot of veterans, and I don't want to say I speak for everybody, but I feel like a lot of people, and I can almost safely say this, is that a lot of people are going to be hesitant and are going to wait. A lot of people also kind of came out and have struggled. So that might be like their end of like, oh, fuck this, I'm going back in. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I still think there's a hesitance to how is it going to work out? Or, how is this transition going to happen? How is it going to military? And I feel like a lot of people are going to be like checking in with their buddies. Hey, has it gotten better? Is it still the same? Because at the end of the day, the army is a war machine. And when it is not in war, peacetime army is a different beast, no matter who's in that administration. And obviously we know, not in a positive way, I say this, don't get me wrong, is that Trump wants to continue peace, which is what we all want, right? So
yeah,
that itself could keep people away as well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, yesterday he showed this hilarious video that was like going back and forth between like hardcore classic military stuff, like you guys are maggots, you're worth nothing, you're lower than nothing, you're worse than, and then like people like pop dancing, like playing with dildos and shit in the military, doing like the TikTok videos, like so he did like a compilation of the the good old days versus what we're seeing right now.
Yeah,
so I mean, just that spirit of like bringing the warrior spirit back. I mean, that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah,
because I don't know, like dudes who are 18 don't want to like go to like a feminine place, and then let alone where their hands are tied behind their back. And that's what I'm excited about with Pete Hegseth, because like it's always blown my mind, like the rules of engagement where you're like, what is it? You literally can't shoot somebody unless you get shot at.
Yeah. So that was that started with Obama, but that also was a thing while Trump's was in office as well, and essentially that was to stop from any us causing anything or doing any war crimes, you know what I mean? Essentially, from trigger happy infantrymen.
Yeah. So I mean, that's mind blowing. I can't believe that's a thing. But when it comes to pardons, though, because we're talking about, I mean, it seems like Fauci has a blowout right now in the lead. That was like 90% last time I checked with the chat. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit of a contrarian here, because I mean, we know what Fauci is. He's the guy who was experimenting with AIDS. We know that he's like a bureaucrat, swamp creature, but Millie like really crawled out of the woodwork and like just let us all down in the worst possible time. I remember that when there was the talk in 2020 about the military is not going to acknowledge a Biden victory until they count the election the right way and all that, etc. Millie comes out and says like, oh yeah, it's not up to the military to certify an election. Like the military is here to execute the transfer of power. And like he starts like calling Trump a Nazi and everything, and he spoke to China behind Trump's back and defended that. So like he did some pretty treasonous stuff, like to the point where I always wondered if they had like some sick, twisted blackmail on him or something, the way that he spoke.
Well, at the end of the day, you got to remember these guys are politicians. This is what we kind of spoke last time I was on. Why I'm very excited for what's his name? Hegseth. I'm really excited for him because, like I said, it comes to a point where colonels and above become really politicians. You know what I mean? And then generals, forget about it. Your soul's lost. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying I'm very excited about him, because at the end of the day, and even when they were kind of grilling him, he was, they were saying, well, how do we know you're going to sell out to some agency or third party or something like that? Well, he's a captain, dude. He doesn't have as much heavy leeway. And then at the end of the day, he was also working for Fox News, making, I think it was millions of dollars.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys this to, ask a question off this topic. So when it comes to pardons, are you guys in favor of pardons and how they're constructed right now, or are you kind of negative on how pardons are set up right now? Because I mean, I looked up whether or not a president has the power to undo a pardon from a past president. What would you guys guess off the top of your head if they're able to do that or not?
I believe not.
Umberto?
No, Brandon, come on. It's fiction.
No, I'm asking like a hypothetical pop quiz, like if you know like how pardons are constructed and laid out in the law.
I don't exactly know about
I didn't either. I looked it up and it's pretty intense.
All right, go ahead. Educate us.
So no sitting president can revoke a pardon issued by a former president. Once a presidential pardon is granted and accepted, it is legally binding and irreversible. The pardon power is absolute. Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution gives the president the power to grant pardons for federal crimes. There is no provision allowing a future president to undo a previous president's pardon. The Supreme Court case that dealt with this, Ex parte Garland, 1866, the Supreme Court ruled that a presidential pardon is final once granted. So it's rock solid, ironclad once you do it.
Yep.
Pretty sick. That's some powerful shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good when you know, like it's one of those things like you love it when it works in your favor, and then you hate it when it, you know, it's used the way it was today.
Am I blacked out? Sorry. Is it blacked out?
Oh, you're frozen a little bit, but I can still hear you, so just roll with it.
Okay. Yeah, it's sick, right? When it's like you said, it's
just talking in the chat. Chat, let us know if you guys can't hear him, but I could hear him.
I could exit and come back on quick if need be. I think it's awesome, like you said. It's awesome when it's in your favor, and then it's not when it's not cool when it's not in your favor, right? Like Fucci getting pardoned is crazy, you know what I mean? But he just essentially saved the guy from getting crucified by Trump, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Amber says rock solid for the said crime, not a blanket though, right?
No, it's a blanket.
Yeah, like the way he did with Hunter Biden, he like put a time period on it, which is a pretty crazy way to do it, because normally it's like for an individual crime, like if you're in jail for something or if it's known that you did something, you get pardoned for that. But he said like from November 14th, 2011 until
10 years, 20 years, something like that.
today, today, he's got a pardon. So I mean, I don't know, maybe he could get something like for something he does in the future. I don't know, but
hold on, you're coming in a little choppy. I'm gonna exit, come back.
Okay, but to put a pin in this though, I mean, I like the pardon because I think that it like there's a saying in law that goes, it's better that 100 guilty men go free than for one innocent man to get put in jail. So if you're of that school of thought, then it's better to have that power for the president, so that a president could set people free that deserve to be free, rather than you know, like that outweighs the bad of a president being able to let bad people off the hook. I mean, would you guys agree with that philosophy? Like that's a famous philosophical school of thought that lawyers all agree on the fact that if it's worse to let one innocent man go to jail than 1,000 or 100 or 1,000 guilty men go free. Would you agree with that, Humberto?
I would agree with that.
You wouldn't?
No, I wouldn't. I think Fauci's guilty, yeah. Like, and we will get time to prosecute him. Like, you know how many people died?
Yeah.
And this is crazy.
And he's still active out there.
Oh, and he was
plotting and planning.
Yeah, for years to come. This is absolutely insanity. Like, I don't agree with it at all.
You don't agree with that lawyer philosophy?
Man, we need more people jailed.
Well, I think we have the record for amount of people jailed, but I know we need more people who are actually bad to be in jail.
I mean, we need bad people in jail. But if you see that, like, I mean, I see crime reports, interstate crime reports. They commit a crime, they let them free. They commit a crime, they let them free. They commit a crime. Like, you have guys that have 8, 9, 10. Like someone, remember the guy that had 112 arrests?
112 arrests?
Yeah, I think it was last year.
That kept getting let go?
Yeah, it kept getting let go and he ended up killing someone. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
No, I mean, I agree. I think that a lot of that's going to change finally. Even like it's nice to know that like petty shit like this isn't going to, like, I guess, just get ignored anymore. And I think one of the mandates that Trump has is to like come down hard on these cities that are just out of control, like Chicago, LA, New York City. And, they're trying to fortify their cities and put up a fight against this. Like Newsom, in the midst of the wildfires, he just like calls an emergency meeting among their Senate to raise a $50 million fund to Trump-proof California.
Oh, Brandon, by the way, the thing you were talking about is the Blackstone ratio. And
The Blackstone ratio? Let me pull that up.
Blackstone ratio. And the quote is, it's better than 10 guilty persons escape than one innocent suffer.
Right. So you disagree with that?
I mean, 10 to 1? I don't know.
It's a philosophy question. I mean, I'm not saying that I agree with that, but I'm saying that that's the saying, and that's what a lot of lawyers believe.
Yeah, 10 to 1 is too much. Maybe 2 to 1.
Yeah. But it really sucks if an innocent person's put in jail for something they didn't do.
So very interesting if you look it up, how many pardons have past presidents given. And it says here, President Trump has given 237 pardons. Barack Obama gave 1,927 pardons. George W. Bush gave 200. Clinton gave 459. and then Biden gave 8,064 pardons. 6,500 of them coming by pardon for marijuana possession. So if you take that away, he still has 1,500 pardons. And I wonder if this is an updated list. But you could kind of see, it's interesting how you kind of see, I guess you could kind of see a trait. I mean, I don't know if you could say just Democratic presidents, but I guess in the 2000s, Barack Obama and Biden combined have given more pardons than Trump and Bush combined, which is interesting.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
I love this because it has some really weird here. Who do you think is number one of all time?
For what?
Was that what did he say? I couldn't hear him on that one.
What do you think, Cam? What do you think is number one of all time?
I have a guess.
All right. Cam, what's your guess? Number one.
Number one all time. Ooh. I'm thinking about wars. Maybe either Eisenhower or Truman.
You're very close. Very close, Cam. Brandon, you want to take
FDR. He was in office for like 14 years. I'm going FDR.
All right. What does the chat say? Let me see.
Yeah,
Chat,
FDR probably.
who do you think,
Yeah,
chat?
World War II. Yeah.
Number one is Jimmy Carter.
Wow, in just 4 years,
Wow.
how does he get the record in 4 years?
Oh shit! I just looked it up. Yeah, dude, 200,000.
Over 100,000 draft dodgers.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
number two, guess who would be? I don't know if anyone else is president.
there are like 10 presidents that you would like be shocked if you heard the name of them. Like, wow, I've never heard that name before. Was it like Millard Fillmore?
No. I actually thought I did a typo when I was like researching it. This guy named Andrew Johnson, not Andrew Jackson. Andrew Johnson.
Andrew Johnson. Yeah.
And he pardoned former Confederate officials after the Civil War.
Wow.
So, and then
Interesting.
number three by numbers, it will go to Obama because he commuted a bunch of sentences for non-violent drug offenders, like on the top. And then it'd be Joe Biden, number four.
Wow.
Interesting. So yeah, it's crazy when you get that close to the top in just 4 years. But we have a lot of stuff to talk about. So guys, next thing, Melania Trump's outfit looked strikingly similar to V for Vendetta, as I have on the thumbnail.
I mean, that's why you got that thumbnail.
Yeah. So between and shout out to Humberto for pointing this out, because I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was a weird outfit, but I didn't go there at first. I'm gonna pull it up, but between this and then like wearing almost like the same outfit that Jackie Kennedy wore to JFK's inauguration the first time, it's like, what's up with Melania and sending these subliminal messages? Like, is it her thinking about this? Is it Trump thinking about this and telling her to wear it? Is it like her fashion designer telling her to think this? Like, is she like the most based conspiracy rabbit hole person out there?
So I actually saw somebody talk about this and I actually agree with him. So go ahead.
3 straight dudes commenting on fight.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
You missed one outfit. Like, if we're gonna go this route, you missed one outfit.
Okay.
Check what she wore for Dallas.
Get out of here. What she wear?
Dude,
All right, hold on. Let me share the screen so everybody could be in on it.
Oh my
So what
God.
she wore.
What did she wear for Davos?
Dude,
So this is her today, and then let's go to V for Vendetta. By the way, please tell me everybody here has seen V for Vendetta.
Yeah, I
what
have
a
this
great
shit.
movie.
The best movie.
What a great movie.
So I mean, I
thought he said. I thought he was against the movie. Oh, okay. I thought. Okay, sorry.
I mean, it's pretty similar. Like it's the same exact hat. Like it just like puts the shadow over your eyes. She looked like she was at a funeral, to be honest.
Yeah,
Maybe the funeral of the deep state.
So what I saw was this, and they made a very interesting point, and they said they felt like she was making a statement that she didn't want to look at anybody but straight ahead and look at Trump. That she was pretty much making a statement that she didn't want to look at the people who were against Trump and who hurt Trump. And I think it's very interesting, and I think it's a very good point in a fascist statement you can make. You know what I mean? Whereas the first inauguration, she wore that baby blue, looked very innocent. Whereas now it's like, I don't want to look or talk to any of you guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I thought that was a very, very good point when it came to. He sounds farther away. He sounds farther away. I can't hear him.
I'm here. Listen. What they did to them is unbelievable. You remember when they raided the house?
Yeah, they went through her underwear drawer.
They literally went through her.
Really?
Yeah, they did. The degenerates. Like, imagine that. They didn't want to do anybody.
Yeah, they tried to embarrass them. By the way, what did she wear to Davos? I'm not finding it here. I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah, you're gonna lose it.
All right, keep going.
All right. So I think the outfit. She's straight up gangster. One of the best looking first ladies. We can get into that argument. And she knows her lane. I like her a lot.
So, what is this jacket? Hold on, I'm gonna pull this up. But what's the jacket? Is this not? This is an AI?
No, it's true. I think maybe here's a.
Send me a link or yeah.
Yeah.
So she's wearing this green jacket that says something on the back of it that we're gonna decipher together.
All right. I think she wore it.
It says "really don't care, do you?"
Yeah.
Huh? Is she like super based?
I can't. Do you see it?
No, I'm pulling it up right now. Don't worry.
Okay. I was like, it's not showing up on here.
Okay, here we go.
All right. There we go.
Really don't care, do you?
Yeah.
At the time of the June trip, Donald Trump said it was a message to fake news media. Her communications chief, however, said he had insisted it was just a jacket. Yeah, okay. I want to know who's dressing her up, or is it? Do you think it's Trump that's making her wear all these cryptic outfits?
Dude, I think she has her own agenda.
Do you think she has she ever watched?
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna put that in the poll. Has Melania Trump ever watched V for Vendetta? What do you guys think?
Where is she from? Is she from Slovakia? Russian? Slovenia, right? Yeah.
Hurry up and vote, guys, because I'm going to close out this poll and I'm going to put, has Melania Trump ever watched V for Vendetta?
Yeah, you better catch up on the balls.
All right, so no one for the, so people did not agree with that lawyer philosophy. 59 to 40. All right, so guys, go ahead while I write out this poll with your theories.
My theories?
Yeah.
She's definitely sending a message. And she sends a message in a very feminine way.
Yeah, through fashion.
Through fashion, like not talking. Like, you know,
She's never talking. It's kind of delightful.
It's great. I love it. I wish she wasn't either.
I know. Well, she's like
do a lot.
She's like such a
She
great
did do a
example
lot
for
more.
how a wife should be. Huh?
She did do a lot more interviews this time around, though. And I feel like she's more confident and not afraid to be who she is this time around. I feel like she's not. I remember hearing that she was intimidated by her accent in the first the first presidency by Trump. And I feel like this time we might actually hear her speak some more. I feel like this time she's going to have more of a role than the first time around.
Oh, so you think it's an accent thing more than a like being a woman thing and just like
I think it's more of an
no,
accent
because
thing.
I could see like her and Trump having that dynamic where like yeah, I'm gonna talk, you stand there and look nice, like that's the vibe I get.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, 100%.
Right, like Trump lays down the law.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's incredibly nice, gives her anything she wants, but there's a very clear expectation on how they are to conduct themselves.
Lanes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
She keeps her lane. I hope she hasn't stopped talking too much. I hope that the cam is wrong and it's not an accent thing. Like I'm overcoming my accent with a lot of hard work. And yeah, if I want to hear like
You smell look.
but yeah, I want to hear Trump 24/7. This is what I want to do. Just Trump 24/7. Just turn on C-SPAN and see Trump. Turn on CNN and see Trump. Turn on the radio and hear Trump. That's what I want to do. That's what we voted for.
Right. Yeah, no, we didn't vote to hear her opinions. I mean, you know who gave too many opinions was
And
Joe Biden and Michelle Obama. By the way,
Yeah.
what do you guys think Michelle Obama was doing today?
Who knows? But you know, it was funny. Did you see the Kid Rock? Did you see the Kid Rock interview?
No, I didn't.
Oh, so Kid Rock goes, he actually grilled her, and he was like, I wasn't happy when Obama won presidency, and Obama still asked me to come to his inauguration, and I performed, and I did. And he goes, because it's not about politics, it's about just embracing a new era and a new presidency. And then he goes, so I must remind Miss Michelle that I would be expecting her to come to the inauguration to show some respect.
Damn.
But I mean, like, it's true though. Today's not just. I was just talking to a buddy of mine. He had asked me, he's like, "You watching the inauguration?" I was like, 100%. And I was like, I have watched every single inauguration since the first time Obama came in. Right, that was about 8th grade for me. And every single one I watch because it's a beautiful day to me. It's America. It's a celebration. No matter, regardless of whether you're happy who's coming in or not, it's a beautiful day, man. It's great. You know what I mean?
By the way, look at this clip quick. This is exactly what I mean. So Trump's doing his thing, like executing business, and she's like a statue right there.
She's just straight faced.
Statuesque, looks great.
I saw this, and this is the first time I even noticed her in the back. When I first saw it, it looked like Secret Service. That is hilarious that I'm watching it again, and I just realized that's her.
Did you notice that she was there before?
The first time I watched it, I really thought it was Secret Service. Just
but it's like The Godfather, like it's
yeah.
47 sub-cabinet level appointments, sir.
But you don't have to sign 47 times.
Yeah, I love that. Like this should be. Imagine she starts women's school. Yeah. But she caught herself looking down, and she fixed it quickly. Did you see that? Look. She starts looking down. Oh, she snapped back up. I love it. It's hilarious.
Oh shit.
Good for her.
Oh shit.
All right, my favorite part of the inauguration.
Oh, I just liked watching Kamala's face when Trump was saying all the things that he was saying. Like you could see the pain and just like she was about to throw up the whole time in her face. And that Hillary was there and Clinton was there. Oh my God! Like the fact that they were sitting right there and he's just trashing them the whole time, like undoing all the things that they've done to try to destroy the world. He's like, yeah, we're gonna deregulate all the oil. We're gonna get rid of the Green New scam. We're gonna get woke out of the military. We're gonna have a merit-based economy or a merit-based society instead of a color-based society. Like everything that's just poison to their ears. He was just like hammering.
All right, so you can.
For me, actually, was the Carrie Underwood when she sang, and there was no audio. And I remember I was just like, oh shit. I was like, here's that sign. But then everybody singing together, to me, bro, it choked me up. I had goosebumps. I was like, hell yeah. That was, for me, one of the top moments. I mean, the speech 100% was on point. It was beautiful. It was the biggest F you to everybody, you know what I mean? It's like he had his middle finger just going around, you know what I mean? Like, just fuck you all, you know what I mean? Yeah. But to me, the best moment was that exactly. Carrie Underwood just, she goes, all right, I'm going a cappella and you guys could join me.
I think I have that here. I got to be careful to make sure to not get, will it copyright me if I play her singing the thing?
Come on, man. Take a risk. Columbus.
Yeah. Columbus did?
Yeah, Columbus did. All right, well, you pull it up. All right,
I'll do it without so we can look at Kamala's face because I think that's the best part of it. Look at her. and they start singing along.
Yeah. She's like, man, it was almost me.
And Doug is singing along. Biden starts singing along a little bit.
Yeah.
Hillary singing along like unenthusiastically.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I'm telling you, this right here choked me up. I was just watching it, choked up. I got goosebumps. It was just, it hit the heart, man. It hit the heart in the best way.
100%. Yeah. Which?
Oh yeah,
part
of the, for you.
I was about to. What part stuck out for you the most?
All right, I want to go old school, Brandon.
Okay.
My favorite thing every year, the 21 gun salute. That's the best. Like how many times?
At the end, when the gun salutes go.
Oh man, with the cannon.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, just a picture of them shooting artillery in Tennessee. Like, I can't get enough of it.
So, guys, yeah, no, I agree with you. That's a part sick. Did you hear that illegal immigrants are already self-deporting themselves?
Mhm.
Did you hear that?
No, come on, man.
Yeah, it's a thing.
And it's day one.
I saw something on January 17th. I'll show it to you right now. Illegal immigrants start self-deporting themselves. Here, I'm going to pull this up.
That is like if Trump stopped the war before getting into power.
Yeah, imagine if he did that.
Yeah, he did that. That's crazy, man.
Look here, I'm going to show you. Here
So
we go.
if self-deportation, they're just wording it that way. Essentially, is people are just going back, dude. They a lot of people have heard enough to where they're like, we're out. You know what I mean? You're going to bother getting deported and arrested and all that.
Some migrants are already choosing to leave the country voluntarily. News Nation's Jorge Ventura joins us live from San Antonio, Texas this morning with more on this story. Jorge, how many migrants are we actually seeing doing this, leaving voluntarily?
Right now, Mark, it's unclear, but we are starting to see a trend, and this comes as cities across the U.S. and Mexico are now bracing for President-elect's deportation operation. But his hardline messaging on those deportation efforts have some migrants panicking and some even choosing now to self-deport back to their home countries. I spoke with immigration attorney Rolando Vasquez, who tells me that some of the immigrants that he represents that entered under the Biden administration are now choosing to return home, fearing deportation under the incoming administration.
Just as recent as yesterday, they notified me that they were going to depart the country voluntarily, and understanding that, you know, the Trump administration is going to carry through on their promises.
So, and it's not just Trump's deportation plans that are influencing these decisions. Vasquez says it's also that Mexico is now open to accepting non-Mexican deportees.
Stop this thing. So this kind of segues into Trump designating cartels as terrorist organizations for the first time ever. Mm-hmm. So what does that look like?
So real quick.
I know. Go ahead, Cam.
So with that, so what happens is I don't know how much people are aware of. So once somebody does get, so what happens with when you get deported, depending on the severity, sometimes it's case by case, but sometimes they'll give like a 10-year penalty. Sometimes they give a 0 return, like you just can't come back. So I think for a lot of people that are opting out saying, hey, I'm just going to go back, it's not so much that they're like giving up. It's more of, okay, either one, they're going to wait for the next presidency. They're going to wait 4 more years and try to come back, right? Or 2, they're going to try to actually do it the right way. And now there's a third part that I think a lot of people don't realize is that it's also the tall tale story of immigrants and illegal immigrants taking jobs. It's not as easy as people think, right? There's actually a lot of jobs. There's a lot of illegal immigrants that have come by. I mean, this was while I was even in the restaurant industry not far too long ago. You know, you had cooks and oh, my aunt just got here. My cousin just got here. Do you know of any work? Do you know of any work? They were having trouble finding work as well, right? Because 2 things. One, they're already in debt with whoever, you know, third party they use to come here, right?
Yep.
2, now they're not making any money here. So now they're in debt and now they have no money. They're running out of food or they have no food, right? So now they're having trouble. And a lot of people don't realize it's a big adjustment both ways. For coming here and coming from your country, you know, I'll give an example from Colombia. I've had family members who have come here. And there's times where, you know, they opt out or they stay in and they're like, this is for me. Or they're just going to adjust, right? Mm-hmm. I've heard countless stories of family members coming here. They're like, dude, the food don't taste good here. You know what I mean? The way of life, too much work. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people, especially in other countries, and Humberto, I know you're Chilean as well, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. So I don't know, you probably heard this yourself, which is a lot of people back home in my home country in Colombia, a lot of people think money grows on trees out here, right? A lot of people think just because you're in the United States, you're rich. A lot of people think just because you're here and you're working, you're loaded, you know what I mean? And you got money for days. And they don't realize the amount of work, the work ethic you have to even sustain and be able to travel. They see you traveling, they see all these things, but they don't see how much you have to put in to live this lifestyle that we do have, right? And so on the back end of that is back home, you might not make a lot, but with what you have, you're able to sustain yourself and you have days off. You're seeing family, you know what I mean? And now you come here, you don't know anybody. You don't speak the language. You can't get a credit card. You can't open a bank account. So a lot of people, it's not so much, it's yeah, for sure. It's probably driven by the administration, but also some people they come here and don't make it, dude. They don't make the cut, you know what I mean? Or it's not for them.
No, I mean, the people that make it here is the people that want to go above and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, America gives you the opportunity to like go bigger than you can ever go anywhere else. So if you're willing to put I personally work 100 hours a week, right, Brandon?
Yeah.
Monday to Monday, there's no Sunday, Saturdays, or whatever. Because I want to make it big here, But people that just want to do little work and get by, it's not a big deal for them. I agree with Cam, people that want to chill and they want to have a better lifestyle with less work, it's on your plate. And I think a lot of them are going to self-report anyways.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think at the end of the day, it just shows its effectiveness. The language that he's speaking isn't the type of language that's going to attract people here that do it the wrong way. Which that's the biggest problem, is that they make it more inviting and more conducive to people who want to do it the wrong way, because they benefit from that in a way. Like the people who are creating those policies found a way to benefit from people doing it the wrong way. But it's a terrible thing when there's every discouragement and disadvantage in the world to doing it the right way, and that you just get rewarded basically for doing it the wrong way. So I mean, that's the worst part of it. And I mean, now it's going to create a situation where I think a lot of this is just the danger factor, the fact that it's dangerous there because we let their cartels exist because we found ways to flood our economy or our country with cocaine, because we know the CIA has all those black ops projects where they fund their secret operations with cocaine money, and they use the cartel and they've used the mafia before to do those things. So I think that's a big reason the cartel has gotten so big. But I really want to talk about this, though, that Trump is classifying cartels as terrorist organizations for the first time ever, because cartels are pretty deep in our government in terms of having informants and people that full on are cartel members that have made it a point to get work their way into government, where they could tip them off and stuff, or there's bribery everywhere. So I mean, how deep into our government do you think the cartel has people, in terms of whether it's informants or people who are on payroll, in Mexico's government too? What does this battle look like? Because it's more complicated than just drone striking a couple of cartel houses.
It's way more complicated. And well, the thing is that it's not the first time this happens in American history, Brandon.
For the are you talking Monroe Doctrine?
No. The thing is, when we have new structures of crime, like the mafia, back in New York and back in Chicago, they had to find new structures to fight them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, Al Capone, he was jailed for tax fraud, right? In the 80s, that they had the biggest cleanup of the mob in New York and in Chicago. It was all done through RICO,
right?
Cases, right? So what he's doing here, he's reframing, legally reframing what the cartel, and he's reframing the way to fight against the cartel. The thing is that, for example, the military, they have strict orders that they can't act as police inside of the United States. I forget, it had this Latin thing. Maybe Cam knows about it. But when a group is classified as a terrorist group, it's a whole different ballpark. This is a very smart move, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I mean, it gives you all kinds of rights that you didn't otherwise have to to escalate things. I'm looking it up right now, the effect of it. So when a government, let me read this quick.
Okay.
When a government officially designates a group as a terrorist organization, it triggers several legal, financial, and diplomatic consequences in the U.S. This designation typically is made by the State Department under Section 219, Immigration National Act, legal consequences. Providing material support to the group becomes a federal crime. Individuals can be prosecuted and imprisoned for aiding the organization. The FBI, DOJ, Homeland Security gain broader authority to investigate, surveil, and prosecute members and affiliates. The Patriot Act allows expanded wiretaps and intelligence operations against suspected affiliates. Members and affiliates of the group banned from entering the U.S. If already in the U.S., individuals can face deportation or visa revocation. Financial freezing of assets, sanctions and funding, choking off donations, diplomatic and military consequences, international sanctions and pressure, authorization for military action, and banning travel and safe havens.
Okay. So, well, the way I look at what he did by declaring him a foreign terrorist group organization, I messaged one of my buddies who's a DEA, and I was like, "Hey, it's open season, huh?" He said, "Oh, hell yeah." You know what I mean? So this is my takeaway from by doing that, and maybe I'm wrong, but my understanding is, well, so essentially, if you declare him a terrorist organization, a foreign terrorist organization, he has now green lit, because before, kind of what Umberto was saying, there had to be joint operations for the United States to go against the cartel, right? So DEA had to have the FBI. So if the FBI wanted to be involved, the DEA had to be, the military wanted to be involved, the DEA had to be in there. So you kind of had to have everybody involved, right? Yeah. And I feel like now it's more like greenlit, go. You know what I mean? Like, you're good to go. I feel like DEA will now have more play in Mexico. You know what I mean? They're going to be able to do more work. I won't be surprised if we're going to hear we're actually, throwing, missiles at them and attacking them within Mexico. But that now here comes that thing where it's kind of like, well, does Mexico take that as a personal attack? Could that be insinuating war? I mean, it's a
war with Mexico.
But still, though, like, can it do that? I mean, if we're attacking in their homeland, but again,
but like, what are they going to do?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like kind of like if they a big terrorist act or a big, in Texas, something happens, you know what I mean, with the cartel, you know what I mean, the shootout between Americans and the cartel. Well, is that now green light to go and hit them in Mexico? You get what I'm saying? So that's the way I kind of look at it. And I'm looking at it as he just gave the green light to everybody to actually start hitting the cartel hard.
Well, here's the thing with our military, though. Like, I think of our military as like a fucking dragon, like amongst, regular animals that's like just been chained to the floor for like most of our existence. Yeah. Like where it could like kill every single thing around it and like enforce any rule or like anything that they want to enforce. I think they have the power to enforce it, but like it's just been like hampered and chained and handcuffed like so badly that we don't even know what it's capable of or how effective it could be. Like, how often does the president even take the advice of a general, like one of the real generals, ones that are actually on the ground in active combat? How often does the president actually listen to what they say that they think they should do? Trump has done that before, but I don't see a lot of presidents doing that.
Yep. Oh, well, I mean, I think, and if I'm not wrong, which chat, go ahead, or anybody go ahead, feel free to correct me. But it seems like everybody in the past, like Obama, they would say that they're a threat, but they never really took action. And I think this is the first time we're actually seeing well, I mean, you could kind of say in the 90s, we took action against Pablo Escobar and the Medellin cartel and the Cali cartel. But it wasn't, I don't know, Umberto, were they declared terrorist organization back then? Maybe a little more on that?
When Noriega was picked up?
No. Oh, now you came in clear, brother. That's what I'm talking about.
I fixed my audio problem.
That was, I was almost like looking around, like, where the hell's he at?
Good call. Those settings. One second, guys, I got to plug in. Keep going.
I think it was 93, 94. And I think it was 93 into 94 when the United States really got heavily involved against the Medellin and the Cali cartel. Well, first it was against the Medellin cartel where they were working DEA agents alongside with Cali cartel. And then after they brought down the Medellin cartel, they went on to the Cali cartel. But were they declared terrorist organization back then?
I'm not quite sure. We'll need to research on that. But from my understanding is that it was a conjoined operation between the DEA and the Colombian government. And by the way, it was super successful. I mean, if they kept if they kept that line, like I mean, from 94 till like the year 2000, Colombia was going the right direction. You know, it was on the way to becoming a superpower. And then they let it go, and you know what's going on right now.
Yes, unfortunately. Yeah, it was on the rise. Medellin was declared time after time the most innovative and progressive city in the world.
So how much do you think do you guys think the cartel actually fears the U.S. government? I mean, like, do they? Because I mean, you know, it's just TV, but every show you watch, like the only threat they're really afraid of, like whether you watch Landman, you watch Ozark, like it's like silly comparison to make to what probably happens in real life, but that seems like that's the only real threat that gets the cartel scared is like the power of the federal government, the U.S. federal government against them. Because even Mexico's own military is probably a good matchup for their cartels, but they make such little money there that it's so easy to bribe those guys.
I was watching an interview about a military member that was fighting the cartel there, and he was like, at least 3/4 of my unit, they just flipped, because of the death threats, kidnappings, the money that they offer them. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, Brandon. The only thing they're scared of, like really scared of, is tier 1 operators. Like once you get tier 1 operators involved there, it's done. It's over.
What about drones?
Drones and tier 1 operators, that's it, and it's done. It's a wrap. All right, like they can do a cleanup in 74, like maybe like 2 days. It's a wrap.
Yeah, like imagine if we find out that like they find all the like main hubs for like the biggest places, and they just fucking drone strike their like where they keep their weapons and their drugs and everything, and just wipe them out in one fell swoop.
But the thing is, Brandon, that this is a big product. Like
Coke.
Yeah, Coke. It's a huge
fentanyl's
product.
bigger now, dude.
Yeah,
bigger.
They say that like a huge portion of the money, the liquidity in the banking system is illegal drug money.
That's what it is, Brandon. Like if you pull the plug too hard, like it might
crash the economy.
No, I'm not even joking.
No, I know
Brandon.
you're not joking. That's what like the biggest, like the people that we don't even know about, that like the most powerful people in the world. Countless books talk about this, whether it's the Committee of 300 or the what was that group, the Dutch East India Company, or the UK, what the hell was it, what East India Company, there's the Dutch East India Company, and then the England version of it, that they were like the biggest drug traffickers like 200 years ago, and they made like billions of dollars in 1800s, and then they got like 10% of China addicted to opium. They're still using that same model today. So like the biggest, scariest people out there, like the cartel's frontmen for them, they and the DEA just is like a ornamental thing that'll do like an occasional drug bust every once in a while to make it look like they're doing something. But according to stuff that I've seen, like the biggest people out there, like they make the most of their money off of drugs.
I just looked it up. It's a $650 billion industry.
Yeah, and that's what we know about.
That's what we know about.
It could be a lot bigger than that.
So I think one of the biggest things, right, which is interesting, which I could speak about for the Mexican cartel versus other cartels, and I could speak about the Colombian cartel. The biggest thing I see about the Mexican cartel is control, right? And not just control within Mexico, and it's their influence and how much their hands they have in so many pockets, and in not just in Mexico. They have them here in the United States. They have them in Colombia. In Colombia, there's neighborhoods now where there's sections where like, yeah, that's the Mexican cartel. And it's very different. So kind of even here, I want to give you a shout out. He's from Texas. He lives in Envigado in Colombia. Kind of speaking with him a little bit on the chat here. And it's different, right? The Colombian cartel now, they're not as influential. They're more of just make the product and here you go. And Mexico just has control of everything, really. And when it comes to drug trade, but then also the Colombian cartel, and it's kind of what I just spoke here in the chat, is that they protect tourists. They protect. There's a balance, right? They create a balance. Whereas Mexican cartel, they are chaotic, man. It's chaos, right? I think, if I'm not wrong, I believe, I don't know if it's the Jalisco cartel. One of their cartels used to be special forces military and from Mexico. And they have driven up so much murder, heinous acts, and I don't think people do realize how much control and how much influence they even have here in the United States. I truly do believe it's much more than we know. I mean, even simple as, I know somebody in Connecticut, you know what I mean, which they know. It's all a matter of knowing somebody that knows somebody, right? And they know, and they get paid to traffic people from, Texas all the way to, I don't know, the Northeast, right? And this is years ago, but he was telling me, back in the day, he used to pick up people and drop them off, right? Back in the day, he had this one guy who used to go to the restaurant. I'm talking about, this was stories I heard about 7 years ago. I can only imagine now, right? 7, 8 years ago, I heard the stories where, there used to be a guy who used to come in there, drop thousands of dollars, top bottle service, everything. That was his main income. He would go pick people up and go. Regular guy, you would never know that was his main source of income, right? Yeah. And it's not just that. There's Americans. They will pay white Americans to pick people up and drive them over to another. There's stages typically of how they'll transport people. And so if you have a innocent, right looking white American woman, and she picks up these people in her family van, and next thing you know, she's driving along the highway, are the odds of her getting, stopped or lower than anybody else, right? So there's things like that. I mean, it's the littlest influences that matter, right? I think it's go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, so I mean, like the scale of this thing, like look at this. This is from 2009. Drug money saved banks in global crisis, claims UN advisor. So he says that $352 billion in criminal proceeds was effectively laundered by financial institutions and used to keep the financial system afloat when banking loans seized up in 2008.
TD Auto Bank. What just happened to TD Auto Bank?
Oh yeah,
TD
America. Yeah. I'll look that up. TD Bank drug money. It was like $1 trillion or something like that.
Yeah, so so that's what I'm saying. So a big major bank like that gets caught up in it. How much more don't we know? You know what I mean? How many times don't you drive across America and you see these stores and you're looking at like nobody goes to these fucking plazas. Nobody's going to these fucking stores. Right? You're
mattress stores. Like how is mattress? No, but I'm being serious.
For real.
There's one, like I just drove up to Daytona. I went to see racing this weekend, and I saw these like 10 or 15 mattress stores. Like nobody's there. It's just a mattress store. Like I think I bought a mattress my whole life. Maybe two mattresses, 3 max. I don't know what's going on with mattresses.
They're always massive. These like massive buildings that are huge, and it looks like the upkeep on it must be crazy. Like you're right. Like it's not like a real residual income thing. It's like a twice a life purchase to buy a new mattress. Yeah, look at this. TD Bank failed to monitor 18.3 trillion in customer activity, which allowed 3 money laundering networks in New Jersey and 1 in Puerto Rico to transfer more than 600 million through TD Bank accounts, Garland said. So yeah, and like TD Bank's a small fry compared to JP Morgan and Chase. So like, and like these banks have so much influence over the government, or so like they call them the SIBs or something, the critically important banks to the system or whatever. So these banks almost have the government by the balls because of how intertwined they are with the system, where the government's kind of like tepid about going after them too strongly.
Well, Brandon, it will collapse the financial system. Like I'm not even joking.
Yeah, no, 100%. Let's see. What's the term for it? There's an acronym that says like the systematically important banks. You know what I'm talking about?
No idea, Brandon.
What'd you say? Sorry. I'm kind of talking here in chat.
There's this like network of financial groups that's called like there's like an acronym for it that that Financial Stability Board, new list of critically important banks. Yeah, that's critically important banks. JP Morgan as only the number 4, blah blah blah. So yeah, basically there's like they designate certain banks as GSIB. So this is like the measurement they use to like say if a bank is basically like too big to fail because it would fuck everything up. And JP Morgan Chase, I think they manage like, what is it? Like $3 trillion a day in money movement. Yeah, here we go. Financial Stability Board 2024 list of globally systematic important banks. That's what it is. So yeah, JP Morgan Chase is way up there. Citigroup's up there. HSBC. So like banks like these, I don't think they would even mess with. And like if they were laundering drug money, like what the hell are you going to do about it?
That's
the biggest thing.
Brandon, go down. Why is number 1 empty? That's weird, Brandon.
Where?
Look up.
Like up this way or up this way?
No, up that way. Look, 3, 2, 3.
Yeah.
4.
What's this?
What is that?
Is it going like 5 is the most important and 1 is the least important, or is that like are these the most important?
I mean, it could be. I don't know.
No, I think these ones are
Yeah, JP Morgan must be number 1.
Yeah, and Citigroup, HSBC. But yeah, what's this weird anonymous one that's the biggest share?
That is very weird.
Yeah,
right.
That's sketchy.
Very sketchy.
Like it's bigger than JP Morgan Chase.
And it says empty.
I was gonna say maybe
it's fucking wild.
Yeah. Who's that?
Yeah.
I mean, anybody in the chat, if you know who this mystery bank is that's bigger than all the other ones, please tell us. I gotta go down that rabbit hole.
Real quick, in the chat, there's a couple people, and I know this is off topic, but I'm kind of here talking with Alan, Stevie P, and MM is out there. Highly recommend if you ever want to go to Colombia. This is my little 2 input for it. 100% go for it. It is much more safe these days. Very open to tourism. It is not as dangerous. Obviously, it can be like anywhere in the world you travel. Just like if you go to Chicago, there's neighborhoods you got to be careful. Same thing, but tourist-wise, it is very open to tourists, very safe. You're very protected, and there is a lot to see. A lot of good food, a lot of beautiful women. And that's my little
nice.
But Cam, you need to warn them that you need to be super careful there because this actually recently happened to a friend of mine. You might catch a wife there.
Yes.
Humberto, what do you think about Colombian women? Do you trust them? Are they trustworthy?
Man, don't get me in hot waters, Brandon. Come on, Brandon. Don't get me hot.
I'm trying to create some South American beef here.
Oh man, that's one thing people need to know about South America. We're all beefing all the time.
Oh yeah,
like you have big beef. That's Argentinians and Brazilians. They can't stand each other. Venezuelans 100%. And Colombians, like they can't stand each other. Like the closer the country is, the more beef they have. Right?
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Why Venezuelans for you guys, Cam?
I mean that's just years and years. I mean, even right now, it's kind
of
like.
I mean, do you feel that way? Like, do you get like irked by Venezuelans just by like genetically?
All right.
I mean, it even comes down to even if you look at the way it was divided, there's people that even say Venezuela should be part of Colombia. That's how deep rooted it is. You have people that say Venezuela should be Colombia. You have the arepa, right? The staple food that we eat as Colombians, right? Yes, fire. You know arepa. So Venezuelans try to claim it; it's theirs, and we say it's ours. It's that kind of beef. You know what I'm saying? It's that deep rooted.
Yeah.
And it's just the beginnings of times, brother. That's always.
I have to say that arepas are Venezuelan because I don't want to sleep in the couch.
100% Colombian.
100%
Colombian.
Who does Chile beef with?
Nobody wants to beef with us. We're so boring. Like we get shadowed all the time. Like our national dance is boring. Our national food is boring. Like they call us the English of South America.
Well, yeah, because like half of the Germany moved there after World War II.
Yeah, like half of Germany moved. World War II is very civilized, very quiet. Like there's not much to it.
Chile kind of keeps themselves. They're like up in the mountains too. They got like
the mountains like cut them off from society.
I know we're locked in. We have the Pacific Ocean on one side and like the biggest mountains in South America on the other side. So we're cut off.
They got great wine though. Great wine.
Yeah, great wine, and it's beautiful. That's what we get.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it's Argentina or I don't think it was Brazil. But for like there's I know 100%.
Wow, literally, look at this. Are you guys seeing this? The map I pulled up?
No. I'm fucking frozen again. This fucking.
Oh right. So look at this map.
Yeah. That's all Chile, right?
That's
there.
insane.
Yeah, they
It
have
is.
the highest mountains. Yeah.
Look at the there's not mountains anywhere else. Why'd you guys take all the mountains?
Yeah, so the mountains actually start reaching into Colombia, and I think is that Ecuador over there? If I'm my geographic.
Let's see. I'll pull up one with the states on them.
They're called the Andes Mountain, and they do go all the way to Colombia.
Yeah.
Is there one of these with the states on it? Let's see. I love these elevation maps. I look at them all the time to.
That is the most acoustic
So,
thing I heard you say all day.
Ecuador, Colombia gets it. Ecuador does. Peru gets it. Peru gets Machu Picchu in the mountains.
Machu Picchu.
Yeah, that's one of the seven wonders of the world.
That's the beef, Brandon. Peruvians and Chileans.
Why?
We hate each other. We have a beef with a pisco that is a national drink that they say is theirs, but it's ours. And matter of fact, Chile used to.
Hold on, I'm gonna get off and come back on.
Okay. Oh, this is a good map. Maybe this is a nerdy acoustic thing, but I don't know. I do this. I do this all the time. Guys, tell me if I'm crazy or if you get it. Look at that fucking map. Yeah. So no wonder why nobody talks to you guys. Look at that. Like it's like what is it, like Mount Everest, like across your entire border? Like is the entire country mountain except for like that little green spot down there?
Brandon, Elon Musk was in Chile last week. All the biggest billionaires, they're buying land there because if shit goes down,
that's where you want to be.
That's where you want to be.
Yeah, it's like a fortress. You're just fortified by the mountains.
You have the biggest stretch of ocean in the world, and mountains on the other side. So
wow.
even I don't want to promote it too hard because it's gonna make property go up. But if there was a nuclear meltdown, first of all, nobody will hit Chile because there's nothing there. But it will protect you from fallout.
Unless it comes from the left side. Like if it comes from this side, then you're good. But if it comes from this side, then you might be in trouble.
No, but Brandon, it's the biggest stretch of ocean in the planet.
Right.
Very crazy country.
Yeah, geez. Okay. So that's our Chile segment. Let's see
but can we get back to America?
Yeah, let's get back to America.
Yeah.
We got sidetracked.
We went down that rabbit hole.
So let's see. What should we hit next? So we have Trump pardoning Enrique Torrio. We got Trump's executive orders that he signed today. We got what else? The DHS agent that was killed. We got Sheriff Grady Jarrett. What are you guys feeling?
The executive orders is the main thing.
Executive orders. Okay, so
there's a lot.
He did like 200 today. He did stuff he declared a national emergency at the U.S. border, designated the cartels as terrorist groups, like we said, ending birthright citizenship for children born to immigrant parents without legal status, suspending refugee resettlement for at least 4 months. From the environment, he is going to withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement after we re-entered it. Drill, baby, drill. He's probably going to go for Anwar, which is crazy. Yep.
I fucking loved it when he said that. When I got hyped, I was like, my gas price is going down, baby.
Yeah,
hell yeah, baby.
And I wonder, after watching Landman, I'm starting to wonder if oil companies hate people like Trump who want to drill more. Because remember the whole thing with that show is just need oil to stay between $70 and $80 a barrel, then I'm good. But if it drops below 70, then companies start going bankrupt.
I think there's two extremes, right? Biden was totally no, and I think Trump was yes, right? So I think for them, profit wise, they're able to make more profit probably off of Biden. But I think for the general public, it's more beneficial to drill.
You know what I bet it is? I bet it's for the big companies, it's bad, but for companies who are maybe in the startup phase, I don't even know.
Try to come up. Yeah, 100%. Now there's more opportunities for more people to bid to drill more oil.
But can a small startup handle a significant drop in prices? Because remember that dude in the show, they're a smaller company, but he's still a billionaire, but he's terrified of the notion of oil going down to $50 a barrel.
I don't know. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Because at that point, is it still worth drilling for that point? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's why you got a lot of empty yards full of fucking of oils.
Oh wow, look at this. All right, so this chart shows exactly what I'm saying. Wow, this is crazy. Look at this shit. So it looks like oil companies crush it with anti-oil policies. So right? So this is oil and gas industry revenue in the United States from 2010 to 2023. So 2010, good. Then
profits.
Yeah,
is what we're talking about.
we start fracking a little bit, but then when Trump gets in, it's never gets back to as high as it was under Obama, and then after 2020 goes immediately higher than it was at any point under Trump.
So supply went down and demand is high. So their profit was a lot higher. You know what I mean?
Well, the futures market is what controls the price of it, because it's not like supply doesn't stop that quickly because Trump because of the pipeline thing. It's like not like that, what you do with drilling and all that doesn't impact the amount of supply that's on the market right away. It's like the future expectations of what the price is going to be really drives the price of it. That's why when you make the announcement like, oh yeah, we're going to open up the pipeline, the price moves instantly because that's future built-in expectations of what's going to be there.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, like 2022, that's when gas was up to like $4.
Oh, that hurts so fucking much. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus.
And that's when we did the most driving that year too.
I know. It was. Oh man.
It would cost like $100 to fill up your tank.
Oh my god, it's $65. I'll never forget.
Brandon, but oh my god, can you name 3 oil billionaires?
Can I name 3 oil billionaires?
Or trillionaires, or whatever you want to name.
Well, I know the industry makes like $4 trillion a year.
Can you name 3 oil guys? I can name 3 tech guys. I can name.
I feel like the oil guys. Let's see. The Saudi crown prince. He might be a trillionaire. Was his name MBS?
I think they don't want to be known though.
Exactly.
I think it's an industry that doesn't want that. They want their name out of the paper. You know what I mean?
I'm looking it up.
Were there any of them there?
Where today?
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
I don't know. Maybe they're not very friendly towards Trump.
25 richest billionaires in energy industry. Well, do you know that the all the environmental studies and stuff, a lot of that comes from the oil companies?
Right.
Well, they have to. It's part of. I think it's in. They have to do an environmental study every single time they go. They have to do a land survey of what they're doing. They have to fund into that.
But I think for example, Russia was behind a lot of the propaganda that went into Germany, going solar and all that stuff, because they wanted to make them dependent on Russia's oil. So, they got all the green activist people to be in favor of going with clean energy. But I've heard that a lot of oil companies are behind the clean energy push because that just makes prices more expensive. And it's like, if you have to make less of the stuff and it's more expensive, that's immensely better for you if it's cheaper and you have to make more of it.
So you're telling me that the oil companies came up with
climate change? Yeah, I am telling you that here. I'm looking it up to, go on. While I look this up. Guys.
What did you
Have you ever heard this, that oil companies are the ones that are behind all this climate change stuff, that are behind the climate change narrative?
I've never heard that. That's why I'm interested.
All right. Well, kill time for a second while I look this up.
Well, you still have 150 votes now on Melanie Trump ever watched V for Vendetta.
Oh shit. What does it say right? Do you see the poll? Here, read the poll.
57% say yes, 43% say no.
157. Close one. What do you think?
What do I think on what?
Has she ever watched V for Vendetta, and did it inspire her to wear the hat?
I don't think it inspired her.
Can you imagine her watching V for Vendetta?
That would be hilarious.
Who decided for her to wear the hat?
I don't know.
I know you don't know. I'm saying, what do you think?
Probably her fashion.
So he's the one who's based.
Yeah. Allegedly though, we're talking about this, and I saw it. Allegedly, she was having trouble. Nobody wanted to work with her though. No big names, Gucci. You know how Kim Kardashian, all these people, they have all those big names, Balenciaga, whatever, however you say it, Gucci, Prada, whatever. All of them, they have those big people. None of those fashion designers wanted to work with Melanie. So very interesting. And I wonder if it's almost a snob too to everybody else.
All right.
I'm finding some articles right now. Don't keep going while I do this.
So Melania Trump's stylist is Hervé Pierre Braillard. I don't know. It's a French name. I don't speak frog. I'm sorry. And she's been working with her since 2017, including all her famous outfits. I don't know who this guy is, but maybe he watched V for Vendetta.
Yeah. Wow, just killing time here, Brand. What we were talking about. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Umberto, was it Argentina or Brazil that wanted to go back to being a European country?
That I don't know who it is, but it sounds like Argentina. There's something that Argentinians will do.
I feel like it's Argentina.
Would you say that Argentinians are made to do, Humberto?
Oh, waiting tables. That's what they're good
Yeah,
at.
One of my bartenders from Argentina is great.
All right, bartending, waiting tables. That's what Argentinians are good at. They're really good at front-facing service industry. That's their calling, and they can play soccer once in a while.
Oh man, don't even get me into that.
Don't get you started on that.
That was trash.
But what are Colombians good at?
Hey, listen, a lot of Colombians are good at coming here and thinking it's too hard to work. No. I don't know. I feel like Colombians tend to kind of branch out all over the place. I feel like there's a lot of entrepreneurs and Colombians when they come over here. A lot of people, obviously, I think the tall tale of immigrants is coming here and starting off in the restaurant industry. But I feel like for Colombians, what I've seen from my experience is that a lot of Colombians don't stay in the food industry. They start off there, but they usually branch out into other jobs and somehow end up starting off their own businesses. My mom had her own business. My dad had his own business. My dad did have a restaurant. He was one of those that actually stayed in the industry. My mom had her own cleaning services and business. My aunt, same thing. One of my cousins went into construction and all that. And you have a lot of Colombians be entrepreneurs. And they have their own, they're very smart at starting their own credit business, credit union within their own community. It's actually quite hilarious. And Las Tandas. So if anybody doesn't know, Las Tandas is a very Latino, it's its own network for us. And pretty much, 20 people. Everybody puts in $100. So as many people is as many weeks as there is. And so let's say you have 20 people, everybody commits to $100 a week for 20 weeks. So, right, what is it? My math ain't mathing right now. 20 weeks, $2,000, right? So for $2,000, if you get the first straw, then you get $2,000 up front. And it's usually like its own system where like everybody's involved and everyone will trade numbers and like, oh, I need $2,000 right now. Okay, boom, so will switch with you. And it's its own credit system, man. It's pretty. I think one of the things I've seen from Colombians is be very innovative.
The Colombian credit system. I never heard that one before.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good example of the importance of having access to credit.
Yes. And it's very prolific. I've heard it throughout.
And having a community.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a group of people, I forgot their name, but like we could actually learn from them that they do this very well and it's worked out well for them.
Brandon.
Actually, extraordinarily well, you might say. Like they're actually the best in the world at it, and the whole world kind of runs off of it.
Even the Swiss.
Yes.
All right. Great people. We love Swiss people.
Yes, definitely that.
So much fun. I went partying in Switzerland once.
The only country that didn't get attacked during World War II. Interesting.
You're gonna get us in trouble.
What, you want me to pull up a map of the countries that got?
No.
We're super good, Brandon. We're super good, Brandon.
Why is everybody getting worried?
I'm sweating. Because, dude, you pick on the Swiss and they're gonna come for you. They're very.
I thought they were nice people.
They're proud people, Brandon. Oh my God.
Why is Davos held there, by the way?
Because Switzerland is a beautiful country with fresh air.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta breathe it in. Chileans are good at two things. They're good at buying property, and actually here in Florida, I think we own like 5% of property. It's like it's crazy. It's like
Really?
yeah, compared to other Latinos. And the other thing, we're great thieves. Like second to the English, we're the best thieves.
That's
Like
funny.
all the high tech thievery is done by Chileans.
Really? I never heard that one.
Oh man, they're the best thieves.
That's funny.
Chileans are the best thieves.
Yeah,
Interesting.
by far.
Like the German.
Hold on. So real quick, from chat, Abner Fiend. Sorry if I
Yeah, read some chats while I'm doing this because I'm
So,
obsessed now.
Abner Fiend goes, Tandas are a way to build. Tanda is basically what Jays have done historically.
That's who I was thinking of. All right, let's slip my memory for a second.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Read some chats. So I'm close.
Is that a city in Switzerland?
I think one of yeah. So it's funny. Make your last life easier. I had an Ecuadorian manager who had everyone doing everyone put in the money thing. Yeah, 100%. I think one of the biggest things, and I think Roberto, you could agree, which is, I think one of the beautiful sides of being an immigrant myself, and you have a lot of immigrants that, and shine some light on this. I'm kind of going for more is, and I've said this for a while, which is, if you were to do right now, if Trump made it and said a way to get your national citizenship is to serve the military for 5 to 10 years, whatever, let's say 5 years, let's not be extreme, say 10. He said, if you want an access to your papers is to serve the military for 5 years, I get almost 100% guaranteed that there would be lines out the doors of recruiters' offices. They would be happy to serve. You have a lot of patriotism and a sense of belonging within the America for immigrants that come over here. Even immigrants who come over here and they're grateful for this nation, and they've only been here for a year, 2 years, you know what I mean? Couple months already, you know what I mean? And you have a lot of people that really were in ruins or had nothing going for them. They were stuck being a bus driver in Colombia. They were stuck working for some company, and they were just not going anywhere, right? And now when I talk with a lot of people say the American dream is dead. And I am a firm believer in the American dream. I've seen it left and right. My cousins are a product of the American dream. Both my cousins are dreamers. They one has her master's. One is working on her bachelor's degree. One works in the medical field, and the other one works with, I think it's sociology. She works with DCF and things like that. And they work 2-3 jobs. They went to school. They had to pay, international fees on these classes. They didn't pay, the regular fee that any of us who are citizens pay. Dreamers for that. And they made it. You know what I mean? Now they're making it. Now they're looking to buy homes. You know what I mean? So you have this still very much so alive American dream. Not boasting, humbly saying this. My family, we came over for Colombia. You know what I mean? My mom had a business. My dad had a business. I came over here. I came through the border in 1999, which is a conversation we could have at some point. I came to the border in 1999, crossed the river. I grew up in America, served this country, and I did not go to college because that just wasn't my route. But I've served, I've worked many jobs, I've traveled, I've got to see a lot of America. You got to be a good part of that. I've traveled internationally, and a lot of that would have never happened if it wasn't for America and what America has to offer. And a lot of immigrants are grateful for it and still very much so hustling to make it work, and innovation and willing to work 2-3 jobs, do whatever it takes. And it's kind of like this opposite where you have a lot of people also. The few bad apples do ruin it for a lot. You know what I mean? In the police force and immigration, you know, a lot of the people coming in now are different even from when I came in the last 10 years ago and 15, 20 years ago. Not all illegal immigrants are bad. You know what I mean? A lot of people are willing to work, wanting to work. A lot of jobs that they're taking are jobs that most people don't want to take. So yeah, that's my
Oh yeah, there's some of the top hustlers, and I mean that's
yeah.
That's why I don't like the extreme sentiment that people are taking with the H-1B visa thing. I mean, like something that we really missed with that was that there's this thing called the HB0 visa or something where like it actually is the like most talented, smartest people that could get it. And you know, I guess a big part of the HB1 is to underpay people, but no, like the sentiment that the far right's using right now that only Americans should work American jobs, like that's stupid because some Americans suck, some are entitled, some are lazy, like some have a bad attitude, and I don't like the attitude of entitlement. Like I'd rather hungry, ambitious, like hustling immigrant have the chance here than, you know, somebody who's just lazy and entitled and, you know, doesn't want to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of restaurants, a lot of food that, you know, you go to an Italian restaurant, half of that squad is from Mexico or Honduras or from wherever else. You know, I mean, restaurants today probably would not function correctly if it wasn't for illegal immigrants. You know what I mean? Less and less do you see in the restaurant industry. And even Anthony Bourdain spoke about it. You know what I mean? Anthony Bourdain was huge on this, talking about illegal immigrants working these jobs. You know what I mean? In the restaurant industry, you know, farming. You know what I mean? Farmers depend on illegal immigrants. You know what I mean? That how they could get any kind of profit sometimes is thanks to that. You know what I mean? Cheap work that pick up that they go out to those fields for hours and hours on end. You know what I mean?
All right, I'm gonna sound like an absolute asshole here, but I think people like me don't get enough credit. Like I had a career, I had a business, you know, everything was going fine, nice apartment, car, everything, and I decided to come here because this is the best country on the fucking planet. Like most stories are like people that are coming from struggle and making something out of themselves. Like since I was a kid, I was like, this country fucking rocks. They have the best music. They have Pamela Anderson. Like you know, V8s and everything. Like I gotta be there. That's what it is, you know. So I think the selection system is broken because we don't want to fill the country with nerds because I don't like nerds. But we also need to, like, you know, fill it with cool dudes. But how do you account for that? I don't know. I'm not a fucking genius.
You make it contingent upon being willing to assimilate here, because some cultures are willing to assimilate and some aren't. Some try to fight the assimilation. You know, if you're going to come to a country, you need to assimilate.
So kind of that kind of goes into what Stevie P is saying. They aren't wanting to adopt our values though. And so the new generation, right? This new wave, 100%. I agree. There's a lot that aren't. There's a lot. I won't disagree with you there, Stevie P. But there are immigrants who have been here for years and years, 15, 20 years, that have adopted our values, that have this American pride, you know what I mean? That call this home, right? And those are the people you want to give papers. I think one of the best systems that actually ever were was while Bill Clinton was president. And you had a path to citizenship if your boss vouched for you. You had to have somebody vouch for you. You had to show that you had a certain amount of income making in a stable. You were a good citizen. You paid your taxes. You know what I mean? I think that is the immigration system we need to go back to. And I think what's that? Oh, yeah, exactly. Right. So
and you're onto something. I grew up in Dubai, and I love the immigration system there because it's just perfect. Basically, every single person that comes in is a citizen needs to sign their papers, not the government, a citizen. So a citizen needs to vouch for the person that comes in. So for every person that comes in, there's an American citizen that will vouch for them. And that makes sense, you know, so then you don't get, you know, like 100 Somalian refugees or like 500,000 Mexicans, because you don't have 500,000 people to vouch for them. But I think anyone that is being vouched by an American citizen and get the government out of it, I think that's the best system. Because sometimes it's character traits. Sometimes people add special things to it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think if it's merit based, right?
Yeah, it's everything.
If you come here on a work visa, right, and instead of just doing a work visa that you come here for 5 years, go back to your country. Hey, depending on how you do within these 5 years on your work visa, you could have a path to a temporary resident card. And during that temporary resident card, right, if you are a good citizen, you're not in trouble with the law, you continue to produce, you continue to work, you know what I mean? You're a functional citizen of this country, then okay, now we go to a permanent residency. Then, you know what I mean? So if you create a merit-based step by step, check these boxes off, and this is your path to citizenship, I think we would see a total different outlook on immigrants, sorry, right? You would see people actually wanting, there would be more incentive to work harder, right? To do the right thing, right? Unfortunately, what you do also have is a lot of immigrants that don't pay taxes, right? They don't pay into the system because they're working cash jobs. Because at the end of the day, they could get deported at any moment. So they're keeping all the cash. They're not going to report it. But at the same time, if you make it incentive based to actually report your taxes, to actually be part of a functional member of society within the United States, then you should have a full path. A great example, and me and you, Brandon, we've talked about this many times, is someone like my dad. My dad had a business. He had a restaurant for 14 years. The majority, besides the cooks, the front of house was all Americans. And my dad, for 10 years, 14 years that he was here, something like that, or 14 years of being a business owner, he didn't have his citizenship. Now, do you think somebody who's paid his taxes, he had an accountant, he had everything, he had a business here, and you don't think a person like that should get their papers? They don't have the right to be a citizen. That's where, for me, that's where it's where like the system's wrong, because that's where it should be. If you have somebody who's a construction, a contractor who's building all the time, who has, paying his taxes, doing all this, you don't think that person deserves to be a citizen within the United States? You know what I mean? So that's where I kind of look at immigration. It's not so much that I think everybody should be given a citizenship. Hell no. I am the first one to tell you not everybody deserves to be a citizen. But there has to be a proper way to kind of steps to get there. You know what I mean?
The main thing is that we should deport everyone to Canada.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's the main thing. We should fill Canada with everything that doesn't work here in America. Just send them there.
It's even more Canada than is already.
Yeah, that will Canadian very hard.
Yeah.
So I have to so I think this is what I was talking about, but I don't know, I'll have to put stuff together on this because it seems like a lot of it's been scrubbed, but like I've seen stuff before where all the big oil companies have like put a lot of money into these climate activists, NGOs, and that they've like promised to go like 100% net zero by the year 2050 or whatever. And I mean, like from that chart we looked at before, it seems like they make the most money when the prices go up. So I could see an angle where oil companies like have their interests aligned with what the left has been pushing. So I think, oil companies might not necessarily love what Trump is doing.
Interesting.
That's why I ask you, Brandon, how many oil tycoons were sitting there today at inauguration? I couldn't name one.
No, I couldn't name one either.
That's weird. Everyone was there.
All the tech guys were, yeah.
Yeah, all the tech guys, a few guys from development, like guys from retail. Like there was a bunch of them, but not a single oil guy. That's fishy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking it up right now. How many oil CEOs were at Trump inauguration?
Brandon, you could even name three. Nobody can name three.
No, we don't know the names of these guys.
I can give you some.
At Donald Trump's inauguration on January 20th, at least one oil CEO was notably present. As per available reports, Harold Hamm, the executive chairman and founder of Continental Resources, was among attendees. This information is based on reports surrounding involvement, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but nobody from BP, nobody from Exxon.
But to put in perspective, Chevron. I know who Harold Hamm is, and he's a small potatoes guy.
Yeah.
His net worth is around like 13, 15 billion. Like he's not a big guy.
No, like those, was it the big five? Who's the big five? Like BP, Chevron, who are the other big oil companies? Biggest oil companies. Let's see.
So real quick from the chat. My biggest and and Umberto, you could probably back me up. I'm not saying there aren't hard American workers. Yes, there are hard American workers, plenty of them. Listen, I'm not shitting on America at all and Americans, right? We're just talking about, because we were talking about the laws that, or the executive orders that Trump is talking about with cartel and immigration. That's why we went down that rabbit hole. The other one I saw was somebody in the chat was just saying, Frankie, why are we talking about immigrant vouchers and jobs? How about we talk about America First conversations? What can we do for the struggling American? Yeah, brother, I agree 100%. What can we do for actual people who are here now, who are citizens and people who are born here? And I think that Trump is going to be doing that, brother. Creating actual jobs. What's that?
Yeah, look at this. Let's look at Exxon, for example. I just looked up their revenue and look how it freaking dips under Trump. This is crazy. So ExxonMobil revenue 2010 through 2024. Look at that shit. It gets like cut in half under Trump right away in 2016.
Go look at the donations. I can guarantee you that the graph matches with the donation to the Democrat Party.
Yeah.
With the lobbying money?
Yep.
So we want me to type in
So you're saying oil industry is probably more in favor of Democrat
Biden, or like they want Kamala to win. Wow. Look at they get crushed under Trump.
Yeah, they do. I know what you're saying. I see what you're saying, which is interesting. And I feel like the notion, most people in chat, go ahead and Brad, put a poll up. See what people would think. Would they think that oil industry supports Democrats or Republicans?
Roberto, can you put that up quick while I'm looking up the open secrets?
All right.
So here's open secrets, ExxonMobil.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, my notion, I feel like, so I'll say this. I feel like the bottom man in the oil rigs, actually work in the oil rigs, is in favor of Republicans. And I would say that the executive officers are all in favor of the Democratic Party.
So look at this. So they did give Kamala more money than Trump. I mean, it's a small amount of money for Exxon. Wait. So contributions, they gave 1.7 million. Oh, this is contributions versus lobbying. So contributions, they gave more to Kamala than they gave to Trump. They gave Kamala 150,000, but then they gave Republican senators more money than Democrat senators.
Because they're the right kind of Republican.
Right,
Brandon.
exactly.
They're the right kind of Republican, Brandon.
Yep, the rhinos.
They're not drill baby drill Republicans, Brandon.
Right. So, wait, what's this? Okay. So,
holy shit, that's interesting.
So they always give more money to the see, look. So for Senate and the House, they always give more money to Republicans historically. Even in 2016 they did for the House, but the first time it dipped.
Right. Oh, it was for here the past year.
Interesting. So where's their lobbying stuff though? Is it going to show their lobbying? Oh, here we go, lobbying. Yeah, this is a crazy site. The okay, so annual lobbying. Oh, this is like a whole deep dive. But yeah, so I mean, we could say at the very least they gave more money to Kamala than Trump, which is pretty crazy. And I bet you, like, if you look at any of the companies, like their revenue, the same thing. Because I never really thought of that. You guys are so mind blown that you don't even know what to say.
I'm bored.
Yeah,
you're bored.
Yeah,
he's bored of the oil.
We just discovered something crazy.
Brandon, I'm a nuclear guy. I like nuclear. It's
yeah,
clean.
we all know that nuclear is by far the best thing in every conceivable way. And I mean, it's even so, like, climate change is stupid for, like, to talk about, in my opinion, until we can acknowledge 0 point energy exists and it's not allowed to be known about. You know, like, stop the whole thing with that right there until we could talk about that. Like, declassify the stuff from the Invention Secrecy Act, then we could talk about the climate stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, this week actually, one of the coldest fronts, like a big storm, is coming to Florida. It's gonna snow in Florida, Brandon.
No way.
it will like look it up. It will like probably today or tomorrow we'll have
Like
snow
in
Florida.
Miami?
No, not in Miami, Brandon, but
Okay.
you know, like Central Florida up, there might be snowfall.
Wow. So I'm looking energy by capacity factor because I can't show this chart enough of the power of nuclear versus everything else.
And death. Nuclear is very safe.
Yeah, there's been like 3 deaths from it in all time. So this chart right here shows, so capacity factor is the percentage of time that an energy source can give energy. So nuclear, 92% of the time it's giving an energy. Geothermal 74, natural gas 56, hydro 41, coal 40, wind 35, solar 24. And guess which one we're spending like $200 billion a year on? Solar and wind.
What is solar, Brandon?
The sun.
No, I'm answering you know, like Jeopardy.
What is solar?
Yeah.
What do you mean, what is solar? How do I answer that?
No.
Are you kidding me? Brandon used to work
Brandon.
for solar panels.
Well, I did because the government wants it to happen so bad that they made it so easy to sell.
Brandon was peddling.
Like I was slinging solar.
Brandon was slinging solar.
Yep. Because dude, they literally they'd pay you like $7,000 if you buy solar panels, and sometimes they like pay for it outright for the so the government's paying for people to buy solar panels.
Yeah. To be fair, at that point where you were in your journey, you needed money quick.
Yeah,
you were starting to drown.
There is a lot of money to be made in solar.
Yeah.
Not that I encourage anybody to do it because it's not heading that way now. But I mean, when energy prices were high, like that, it does economically make sense to like I could read you the script and give you the presentation if you want, because like I did it at plenty of tables and like yeah, it's 20 grand right now, but the thing is you got a southern facing roof, so that's that pays for itself right there in 2 years. 8 hours of sunlight and like the whole thing.
And meanwhile, the guy was giving Brandon the green light to go into all these different towns, and the guy didn't have the licensing for those towns.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I set 3 appointments today, and he's like, ooh, yeah, we're not permitted for that, and I'm like, why the fuck are you letting me go out and do this then? And like the guy's like he's like, yeah, see, like I'm not like totally certified, but my red line is way better than everybody else's red line. You'll make way more here. And
oh my god,
yeah, don't get me started.
I was like, dude, I'm going into solar. I was like, bro, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing?
People do make a lot of money in solar, but like I hated doing that shit. Like I'm walking around like in the winter with like with like one of those neon vests on and like glasses to make myself look more like professional, like a town worker or something, with a clipboard that I didn't even need the clipboard.
But you gotta get the clipboard. Okay, here's a very good question from the chat, and then everyone wants to know, because you figured out what's up with the drones.
I mean, I think there are drones.
I bought one.
A lot of people own drones.
A lot of people what?
We have like 3 at the studio, Brandon.
Drones?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that there are drones. I mean, what else is it?
What do you mean? I don't know what it is.
I think it's our drones, and I think there might be something to it with what the guy was saying about them being those like infinite energy drones. Because it's weird how they could just like stay there without a power source near it, and like it's weird how they can't track it. Like there's all these things around like details surrounding it that make it different from the typical drones that we know about. And I don't think that China has access to, like, China can't even replicate a freaking I don't know, like they have to steal our intellectual property for the most basic of things. So I don't think China has any of the invention secrecy stuff that we have classified. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's a good point, Brandon. That went real quiet real quick, because who started talking about them being zero energy drones?
That was on Sean Ryan.
Oh yeah, and then nobody confirmed it, and it just went super quiet.
And they made him like look like he was dumb for having the guy on.
You want to hear my dumb take about the whole situation?
Sure.
This was a test done by TikTok. All right, Brandon, hear me out. Here's my take. basically they found a non-story to see how much leverage they had on the American public.
Or how much they're willing to. Oh, okay. I was gonna go a different angle. I was gonna say like our government's doing it to see how much we could tolerate and to like normalize it more.
No. There was a power exercise to see how much the news will get picked up by everyone.
Yeah.
And then marked everyone that went deep on it. I
So
don't know.
so we must be really marked for talking about the Invention Secrecy Act.
Oh man.
So
long overdue.
Trump promised though that he was going to talk about this or like declassify it or say what it is, like, you know, within the first week. So how mad will you be at Trump on a scale from 1 to 10 if he doesn't tell us exactly what they are within a day or two? Like I'll be like probably 9 out of 10 mad at him if he doesn't.
JFK.
That too. That'll be 10 out of 10 pissed off.
Yeah, the American Secrecy Act. You're talking about
Invention Secrecy Act.
Invention
Secrecy Act in 1951.
Are you talking about? Whoa, hold on. Tell me more. Tell me more to see if I'm on the right path.
So there's this thing called the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951 that there's like 6,000 patents that are classified that we're not allowed to know about the technology because it'd be too disruptive to the economy. And supposedly, according to like multiple documentaries, like we've had the ability to have infinite energy for like the last 100 years. Like there's all these dudes who created cars like that either run off water or like run off the particles in the atmosphere because there's like ions or like atoms or whatever particles in it that you could like. It's basically like your car is being charged perpetually all the time, and like our entire understanding of physics is flawed. So this dude created an electric car in the 1910s that ran off of nothing, basically. So, but every person that did something like this mysteriously died under weird circumstances. You know, there's a whole documentary about this called The Lost Century on Amazon Prime.
Great documentary. Watch it.
Every Amazon Prime, The Lost Century by Stephen Greer. We've had Stephen Greer on the podcast before. I think it's like one of our most viewed episodes over the last year.
We talked to him last week.
Yeah, he's a G.
He's a G. Certified G.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing that we didn't talk about, Brandon, is the TikTok ban.
Oh yeah,
barely a ban.
What in barely a ban?
So I'm talking about Amber's 0 Point Energy.
He actually put. I saw a video. One of the senators was the one that went and proposed to.
Oh, Ashton Forbes is. I heard that. What is it? Matt Kim said he's gonna have him on soon, and he said this guy knows a lot about 0 Point Energy. But see, like I used to think it was silly to talk about solar and wind when we know that nuclear is so much better than it. But like now, I feel like I'm like giving in a little bit by advocating for nuclear because it's like much better than what we're using right now. But it's like not even close to as powerful as 0 Point Energy would be. Like 0 Point Energy could literally like use something the size of a disk to power a city.
Well, Dr. Stephen Greer said he held one of those devices in his hands.
The donut.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they do not know.
No, it's not supposed to do anything to you. It's just like it's like a perpetual energy source. Like I might butcher this, but like the basic laws of physics is that you like need like an input and an output to create energy. Like you need like what am I trying to say? Like you basically need like something going in, like something coming out. But with this, it's like perpetual. Like for some reason, it's able to like self-generate energy. Yeah, so just like fundamentally changes everything. And I mean, I guess a big part of the reason why they classify this shit is because like imagine if that just came out and then the $4 trillion oil industry was just irrelevant overnight. Like imagine what the Middle East looked like. You think the Middle East is fucked up now? Imagine if oil becomes worthless.
We'll enter a Great Depression.
But there'd be an economic boom from it too. Like that's how the world ends up looking like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like imagine what we could do if we had unlimited energy.
I'm getting the first freaking SpaceX to Mars.
Dude, if we embraced 0 Point Energy and like used it for everything and like used its full potential, we'd be able to take like a trip to the moon like it's a bike ride.
Oh man.
Down the street.
I'm gonna have to take my dog out. She's bumping me.
Okay.
All right.
Petering out. Well, we have one more story to talk about, and it's Elon Musk's straight arm thing, but Umberto's the perfect person to talk about that with.
Oh wow, Brandon. What an unfair introduction. The left. usually the left, just blowing everything out of proportion, Brandon.
Is that right?
I mean, if you checked out Twitter, like there's pictures of Kamala doing it, Biden doing it.
I'm gonna pull up a video
To
do it justice.
Although I do think Elon can get goofy sometimes.
Yeah, and he's a little acoustic.
Yeah, like I mean, if you see the whole video, then it came out of nowhere. He's just too
Yeah,
excited.
he's whipped it out.
Yeah, he just whipped it out. And I don't know.
Who's never done that before? You know, it happens sometimes.
Hopefully, everyone in the chat hasn't done that before.
Guys, have you ever accidentally done this? Just in passing?
Just in passing?
Yeah.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Yeah, I can see how.
Goes out to you. It is
I can see how that
thanks
could
to
happen by
you.
accident.
And I just want to say
Total
thank
Didn't
you
you do it twice though?
for making it happen. Thank you.
No, you're just replaying the video, Brandon. You went like from here to you.
No, I think like when it pans away in this one, I think he did it again. Let me see if I could find a better one.
But I think this is a stretch. It's a non-story.
Really?
Yeah, come on. Dude, the guy he's my favorite African American.
Nah. True,
Huh?
me too.
You know, like I don't know. It just
What?
well, the Rolling Stone magazine picked it up and it was
Oh wow, this guy. Yeah. No, I get it.
you know.
Yeah. No, I think everybody's being too hard on Elon lately. Like I'm deeply thankful for him. People are trying to like, yeah, that's suspicion he's the Antichrist once or twice because we started getting into that default mindset of like, oh, Elon will fix it. Like, oh, thank God Elon's doing this. Like, you know, he became like the answer to all of our problems. So I got, you know, anytime somebody says somebody like Obama's the Antichrist or Gavin Newsom, like, no, they're too evil. They're too hated. Like I imagine the Antichrist as being somebody that's like overwhelmingly loved and like looked at to solve problems and stuff. I mean, right now, my two strongest contenders are probably Elon or Mr. Beast because I mean, like Mr. Beast, the name, you know, it's kind of sketch, and then like how popular he is and how many subscribers he has. That's a very antichristy thing. Then Elon,
Come on, he's great.
Mr. Beast,
Oh man.
he is, but of course the Antichrist is going to be great and captivating, and like it wouldn't. You think the Antichrist is going to be somebody who's boring and nobody pays attention to?
Dude, I'm a huge Mr. Beast fan. Nobody can put videos out like him.
No, it's insane. He's the best.
It's insane. It's insane.
And dude, so the Super Bowl gets like, I think, what is it? 140 million views per Super Bowl. Mr. Beast gets like 250 million views per episode that he puts out just on YouTube.
Dude,
so he's more views than the Super Bowl every 2 weeks.
Because the thing is, he does insane things, and his system is just so good. You know, like the way he put things together is unbelievable. Because like he knows how well he's gonna do, so he gets to do really cool things. Like
they pay for the videos, pay for themselves.
Yeah, the videos pay for themselves. So like I don't know, just huge fan. Like I didn't care much about the whole kerfuffle that he had last year with the trans dude and the whole ordeal, but you know, sometimes you become blinded by the people that surround you. Like it was his best friend and whatever. So I don't know. I don't think there's any malice on him.
I'm putting a poll in the chat. Who's more likely to be the Antichrist? Elon, Mr. Beast, or neither?
Neither.
Yeah, neither. Would I mispronounce it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But no, and that's my actual opinion.
On Mr. Beast or on neither?
Neither. I think they're good exponents of what America should be about. We should have 10 Mr. Beast and 10 Elon Musk, and this world will be a better place.
There can't be two Antichrists, Alan Satoshi Greenspan. There's only got to be one. Jennifer G says, wow, blowing my mind right now. Well, you never consider the notion of either of them being the Antichrist. I mean, the thing is, like, the problem with the Antichrist, like, I can't imagine that's going to be somebody that we hate, because that would be too easy. Like, it's going to be somebody that we're like captivated by and have to resist, right?
Yeah.
Like it has to be hard to dislike the Antichrist, I imagine.
No, the scripture says he's gonna be loved.
Exactly.
Um.
So who else could it be?
Oh,
Or have
man.
we not seen it yet?
I mean, I think you're missing out one guy.
Trump?
That's what the chat is saying.
Shit. I mean, before I would have said maybe he's too hated, but now, like, he's freaking like. This is why I think that he has access to a time machine, because he looked so fucked 4 years ago, and like, who wins against the deep state?
Well, we're not don't
Jinx it yet. Yeah, I
don't
know.
jinx it yet. We're gonna see. It's gonna take at least a year to see if we have a chance.
Just the fact that like if they genuinely didn't want to let him in and he still got in, like, that's fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, what he said. I think Cam is back from his
Oh.
from his
Did you miss us? We're talking about who's the Antichrist. So I'm saying, like, it's obviously got to be somebody that they can't help but like, right? So I said to the chat in the poll, is it more likely to be Elon, or is it more likely to be Mr. Beast, or neither?
Or
Neither.
Who do you think it is? Trump?
I think there's far more evil forces out there, brother.
But they're not going to look evil, though. That's the thing. They're going to look like the greatest person ever. That's the problem with the Antichrist.
All right, when it comes for me with the Antichrist, with the Judgment Day and all that, I mean, I used to be more versed when it comes to Christianity and the Bible, and I don't know. For me, this is my belief, and what I think is that there's the tall tale search of the Jews are still looking for their Messiah.
Whoa,
they are. This is a fact.
Yeah,
they're still looking for their Messiah. Christians were afraid of when the Antichrist is coming. The Buddhists are looking for the next Dalai Lama the moment he passes away, right? I think there's a notion that humankind is afraid of death in the end of times. And I think for me, in my religion, in my spiritual practices, I'm not really afraid of that. I just know that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And the day that comes and the day it happens, yes, it is prophesied that a lot of sickness and plagues will come, hard times will come, the Antichrist will be here. Sure, yeah, but I don't really get caught up in trying to look for him. I don't try to say, who is it? You know what I mean? I think, the Judgment Day is going to come upon us all, regardless of what it is. I think if we're caught up on this, I think it's a negative search. You know what I mean? And I think it's a negative way to blame Mr. Beast, a guy who's started off as YouTube and doing shows, and Trump, you know what I mean? A businessman who's now going for politics. Like, why do you have to look for the Antichrist?
Because the thing is, like, even if it's like just totally symbolic and it's not actually this thing that's predetermined, I think, like, whatever you think about the Bible and Jesus and everything, like, I think it like accurately predicts a lot of like the patterns with humanity and stuff. And like, even if it's not like some predetermined thing that somebody's like actually the Antichrist and has like some power or something, like, it is just like a human trend that we're going to like somebody too much and put too much faith in them. That's going to create like a disproportionate amount of power with them.
I mean, people were saying that the mark of the beast was the COVID vaccine, and then no, it's not the COVID vaccine.
Maybe it's Neuralink.
Neuralink, you know what I mean? It's going to be the chips they put in our head or whatever, or you know what I mean? Again, everybody was looking at that.
Beastables.
Yeah. everybody was looking at what was it, 2012 as the end of times. Again, man, like what I say is, it's like, sure, I don't get caught up on that.
Is this true that Trump was sworn in without placing his hand on the Bible? I thought he did put his hand on the Bible.
I don't know this time.
I
Very
don't know.
interesting fact. Wait. Can I say something?
Designated Survivor, is that where you're gonna go?
Yes. So this is very weird, and I actually put this on there. So I don't know. NBC actually put this out, that this was the first time in any inauguration that there wasn't a designated survivor. So within every single inauguration, there's always a designated survivor in the case of a catastrophic event that everybody that is present at the inauguration dies, or if Trump would have gone down or Vance would have gone down, which was very, very interesting to me. That they said they don't know why, but this was the first time it didn't happen.
So
Was that
how's he?
responsible? Was
How's
that
he allowed to not?
responsible?
Oh wow, interesting. Wait, hold on. So how is he allowed to do that though?
What?
But there's a chain of survivors though. Like it goes what? Vice President, Speaker of the House, then like Secretary of State, then like the whole list of cabinet members. So what exactly is designated survivor? Like if they all get wiped out?
So essentially, so president and vice president are always there, right?
Mhm.
The incoming, always there. But so essentially, probably third or fourth in command or right to command would be not present in the inauguration. And all of them were, all of them. They're saying that this is the first time that there was 0 designated survivor, which was just an interesting fact. I mean, there ain't much to talk about it. I just thought it was fucking wild that they were that sure that nothing would happen, that they actually, or was it, I don't know, conspiracy down the road where they hoping something happened.
So I'm looking at this thing right now, and does he not put his hand on the Bible? Look at this. Which one am I sharing? Yeah, no, maybe he did that so that like there'd be more chaos if they killed him.
Yeah.
But look at this. Is his hand on the Bible here? That's
yes,
it. Next to
his left hand. His left hand is. I think. Yeah.
We don't see it though. Is there another POV? No,
I think maybe he's not. I don't know. Melanie's holding them. No. Wow.
You solemnly swear that I will.
But she had the Bible next to him. She had
his hand
the
is
Bible
down.
next to
Come on, pan out, pan out, pan out.
him. Interesting.
Is it not on there? Humberto.
Like, I mean, from what I saw, it's not on there.
Well, both those angles aren't freaking helping us because the first one's too high to show.
If you go back, there's a picture where it's clearly not on there. But I mean, I guess that could have been the beginning of the speech.
Right, yeah, the picture.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust that, but like, man, like you can't get the camera a little bit lower. There's got to be something on here that shows the whole video of whether or not he did it.
Okay, Mrs. D said I looked at every angle. It's not.
Wow. Mrs. D, what's up, by the way? Mrs. D's one of the MVP OG people here coming in from Australia, from down under.
Dylan Brown says could be a Mason thing.
What's that?
Could be a Mason thing.
A Mason thing? Why is Trump a Mason?
Me. I, Donald.
Oh, here we go. Wow, it's not on there.
No, dude. Wow, that's
What the hell does that mean? Did he do it last time?
I believe so. Last time he did, I think it was clear as day that he did last time.
That's a message.
You think it's a message?
Of course it's a message.
Maybe he forgot.
I mean, literally. I mean, you're in the fucking room full of people. Like, oh, fuck.
Somebody doesn't remind him?
That's interesting. Look at. Oh my
Melania
God.
was instructed to not talk.
I bet Jared Kushner was happy about that. What, too much?
Oh, Brandon.
What? Everybody gets all quiet.
Everyone gets super quiet.
You think Ivanka was happy about that?
Someone asked, wait, what are the 2 books? There was 2 books.
See, so Alan said that it's still.
Is it
legal.
the Torah? Or what's it called?
It's the Torah.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he did it last time. Yeah, I know for a fact.
What the hell happened?
Why didn't he do it this time?
That's kind of
fucking
creepy.
weird. That's weird.
This is a non-issue.
What do you mean it's a non-issue? I'm pretty sure 100% presidents who've been sworn in have had their hand on the Bible.
Except Trump, maybe he wanted to do something different.
Mix it up.
He wanted to change it up.
What are the 2 books, by the way? So is this red box here just a like decorative thing? But then what's this? What the hell is that other book beneath the Bible?
It's still Bible.
Catcher in the Rye.
Catcher in the Rye?
Yeah.
Why are you so not curious about this?
Because this is minimal, Brandon.
What do you mean it's minimal? I don't think this has ever happened before. I'm going to type it in on Grok. Has a president ever been sworn without putting their hand on the Bible?
I bet that it has happened many times. They're there. They're just mucking around and just forget. That's it.
It's like forgetting to Like put the same socks on or put matching socks on.
Yeah, you know, like
whoops.
He was worried about the 200
Executive orders.
Executive orders. See, he was resting his hand to start signing executive orders.
All right, let's see what Grok says. Yes, there have been instances where the U.S. presidents were sworn into office without placing their hand on the Bible. Here's a few notable examples. Quincy John Adams sworn in on a book of laws rather than the Bible, highlighting his commitment to separation of church and state.
Yeah, it's 1825.
Yeah, a little bit of a gap.
Sounds like fucking 1825 things.
Yep. It's not good they have to go that far back. Theodore Roosevelt did not use a Bible for his oath, and when he was sworn in after the assassination of President McKinley, he was not in possession of one at the time. Okay, so that's why. LBJ took oath of office aboard Air Force One after the assassination. So it sounds like John Quincy Adams was the only one who had the option to put his hand on the Bible and chose not to. And then Trump's the only one who had a Bible in front of him.
He had him out though. You know what I mean? Melanie was holding him this time as well. He gave in his speech and he says that, you know, he knows now that he was shot and he thanks God for it, and he's here for a reason and everything. So it's not, I don't know. Some people say he acts like a Christian just to be, you know, to gain popular vote or popularity within the Republican, whatever. But I mean,
Cam, I was allowing it for a little bit because you're a veteran. But it's Melania, not Melanie.
Oh, Melania.
Oh, shit, you're saying Melanie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mess it up all the time.
You're giving him the veterans pass for pronouncing the first lady's name.
Yeah, you don't respect your veterans.
Hey, you know what? ESL, baby. ESL.
Yeah, respect your veterans. So I give him 3 passes. And the 4th one, that's it. That did it.
Huh. Yeah, they're not giving him a good reason. Well, that's a good question to ask in an interview with him if we get the chance.
One was his mother's. The second Bible was the Abraham Lincoln one.
And he didn't touch either.
JD Vance, though.
JD his hand was all over it.
Oh, I fuck it. My boy was every time. Oh, this comes into that other way. All right. So actually, really dope. Which he preached amazing. And I don't want to mess up his name. I have it written down notes.
We got
Trump had invited Lorenzo Sewell. Humberto?
Lorenzo Sewell?
Sewell, Sewell, from Detroit to actually pray. And that was a badass speech. He's like, from the mountains of Vermont. I was like, oh yeah. Boy, get him.
Oh,
yeah, my
really
boy.
Good.
Oh man, he gave me chills, boy, when he was preaching. Let me tell you.
I wasn't paying much attention. I was like, oh, who's this guy? And I literally had to go back to my screen to see who it was.
Yeah, he
oh yeah, I remember seeing this guy. This guy's a beast.
Yeah, Trump actually invited him. He's from Detroit to come praise. And I thought it was amazing.
Let's see if I could find it. Go on.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really neat. And it was one of those things. Well, the thing I saw it was somebody posted it, just said, hey, I mean, and he's so-called a racist, but yet he invited Pastor Lorenzo out there from Detroit to preach in front of everybody.
They can't pin him on anything, all right?
Oh, yeah, I know.
They call him homophobic.
Right.
He had the the Village Boys singing YMCA.
Yeah. That was fucking amazing too. That was fucking
fuck those
great.
Guys. All right, we're done with you guys.
Did you guys see the Apprentice, the movie they made about him, and like they try to make his family look all racist, and his dad's reading the newspaper. He's like, how could these people call me racist? My driver's black, for Christ's sake.
Hey, play that though, dude. That just it gave
our 45th, and Heavenly Father, we're so grateful that you gave our 45th and now our 47th president a millimeter miracle. We are grateful that you are the one that have called him for such a time as this, that America would begin to dream again. We pray that we would fulfill the true meaning of our creed, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Every single time.
We pray that you use our president, that we will live in a nation where we will not be judged by the color of our skin.
I swear I turned Baptist for a
the
second.
content
I swear.
of our
Hold on.
character.
Here it comes. Come on.
Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, we are so grateful today.
There you go. Come
that
on,
you
baby.
will use our 47th president. So we would sing with new meaning, my country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside.
There we go. Come on, baby.
Freedom ring, and because America is called to be a great nation, we believe that you will make this come true. So let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire.
There it is.
Let freedom ring.
Come on.
From the mighty mountains of New York.
Oh, wow.
Let freedom ring.
You guys are.
From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado.
Get it.
Let freedom ring.
Yes, sir.
From the curvaceous
So
hilltops
please, but like
of
summon
California.
something.
But God, we're asking you not only that.
Bro,
Let freedom ring from Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Yeah,
Let
baby.
freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee.
He's singing.
Let freedom ring from every hill and every molehill in Mississippi, from every state, every city, every village, and every hamlet. And when we let freedom ring, we will be able to speed up that day for all of your children.
Yes,
Black
sir.
men and white men, Protestant and Catholic, Jew and Gentile will be able to sing in the meaning of that old Negro spiritual.
Oh,
Free
shit.
at last, free at last. Thank you, God Almighty. We are free at last. If you believe where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Come on, put your hands together and give your great God great glory.
So people are hating on this guy in the chat, though.
I know people. Yeah, I know. I see that in the chat. Listen, regardless of I think it was badass. I think you had a Catholic priest. I think, or the Archbishop was there.
Miss D doesn't approve. I don't know if I could approve.
I thought it was awesome, man. I thought it was awesome to see kind of representation of all religions there, man. In all
I'm
segments.
a Catholic.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna say. I have no point with that. All right, Brandon. I sent you the last thing because this is amazing.
Okay.
And our Governor DeSantis, he got the brief, he got the point, and we have our first. Just pull it up.
Oh, is this with Sheriff Judd?
No. This because I remember I told you guys about the storm here in Florida.
Yeah.
All right, I put it. I put it.
Where'd
in
you
the
send
chat,
it?
On the chat.
In the chat. Okay.
All right. Oh my God, this is so good.
Where? I don't. Which chat?
I think I'm gonna pull it up myself.
Okay, do it.
I'm gonna pull it up myself. Give me a second.
Should I show something from Sheriff Judd too?
Wait, let me see. Share screen. Here it is. And State of Florida, Office of the Governor, Executive Order 2513. Whereas in the area of low pressure moving across the Gulf of America. Yeah, boy. So we got our first weather, warning with the actual name of the Gulf of America.
Beautiful.
Well done. Well done. All right. He wasted no time whatsoever.
Oh, I love that. Speaking, I guess we could close it out on this. A little part of this clip from you remember this guy? We had this guy in the podcast. Cam, you ever seen this guy before?
No.
Absolutely.
So this guy's name is Sheriff Grady Judd, and he doesn't fuck around. He's like he's like central casting for like that Midwest sheriff that just like does not mess around one bit. One time he's like, yeah, we shot the suspect 150 times, but we only stopped because we ran out of ammo.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
You seen him before?
Yes.
So
yes.
here's his meeting today on how Florida's going to set the example for how to deport illegal immigrant criminals.
Wow, that's more than usual.
The governor would be disappointed.
We're in for a show today.
The governor would be disappointed if I didn't have my cards. Do you know?
Step up and hold those for you while you're doing it.
Yes. Sheriff Ivey and I put bad guys in jail. Our criminal justice system holds them accountable, and the federal government lets them into your neighborhood to rob and pillage and steal and rape and murder. Our governor is a leader. He's saying, look, the people of the state of Florida, the people of the United States of America elected Donald Trump because Donald Trump said he was going to fix this illegal immigration issue, and our top priority is the illegal immigrants in this country that are committing crime. So I want to give you just a quick snapshot of why our governor is saying Florida needs to set the example for the other states to support the president to get rid of these criminals who are victimizing our people. How about Edie Grandos? He's not only here illegally, he killed a 21-year-old. He was leaving the scene of a crash, no driver's license, in Homeland, Florida. Think about that for a minute.
So yeah, he goes on with like 20 of these, and he said that's a fraction of what he could go through if he wanted to. But yeah, so I mean, like the nice thing is that like it's all about leadership with these guys. Like, do your leaders have your back? And I mean, like he knows that in Florida they have his back. Like DeSantis will have his back, but now nationwide, cops can. Oh, there's a star. He got shy. But yeah, no, now nationwide, you know, the leaders like the mayors and governors that like are in this line of thinking are going to have the confidence to know that like that Trump will have their back and that there's a different agenda being pushed. Like same thing with ICE agents and the military, even, you know, like when you're just hampered, when you don't feel confident that your leader has your back.
Oh, 100%, Brandon. Like example needs to come from the top, and then every person in a position of leadership needs to act accordingly. Like we can have our opinions and visas and people that come here to work and whatever in the whole system, but people that come here illegally to kill Americans, to terrorize Americans, to rob Americans, there is no chill. There's no chill, Brandon. Like there's absolutely no excuse that someone that shouldn't be here takes an American life away. And I'm not stepping down. That's what I'm dying on that opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
Like if someone's not meant to be here and they commit a crime, get the fuck out. Sorry.
Yeah. Or even death penalty if they kill somebody, or if they I think his mic is off. Death penalty if they, I think you muted yourself, dude. I say death penalty for them if they murder or rape somebody.
Oh, I'd be down with it.
Yeah.
Immediate.
And like not an easy one either, like a one that's like much more unpleasant than the normal ones. It says you muted yourself, bro.
That was weird. I don't know. I didn't even touch the thing. But I know there's already laws in place. Sorry, she's being very annoying right now. So there already are laws in place that if somebody gets their residency and even a non-naturalized citizen, there are certain crimes where your citizenship gets revoked and you are sent back to your country. Even if you're in the immigration system and you have your resident card or whatever it may be, you can get it revoked. Essentially, the only person that doesn't get natural born citizen can't get kicked out of the United States, obviously, right? But I agree, though, there should be a penalty, and just because you came illegally, I think you should face our justice system. I mean, just because they had what El Chapo. El Chapo got brought back here to the United States to get sentenced here. But I do think just because I think that's an easy cop out, right? I mean, just send them right back to wherever they came from and not face consequences for their.
No, I'm saying death penalty for people who come here illegally and aren't citizens and they commit murder or rape. Then I think that's like we should do not only death penalty, but like a savage death penalty.
Savage death penalty, yeah.
Yeah, there are people like a scary death penalty.
I mean, if you were to do that, you also set the tone and set a message. You know what I mean? And kind of like what you're talking about with having DeSantis follow in line and wanting to be the leader and example of this in Florida, it's also sending a message to the rest of the United States and other governors that you should be backing up Trump on this. This isn't popular to do so. Exactly. This shouldn't be a topic of, oh, well, one state says, nah, we're not going to deport. We're not going to do that. I mean, in a sense, it's also going against Trump. And whether you are in favor of this or not, whatever it may be, but at the end of the day, that is now, regardless of who you voted for and regardless of the outcome, whether it was your outcome you wanted or not, this is it. This is a very serious issue. This is something that is affecting us. I mean, all over the place, New York, Colorado, right? Those are the two big ones that we've seen, right? Venezuelan gangs in Colorado. I mean, just recently there was a guy in New York that burned some woman at the train station and just watched.
That was horrible.
That sicko, 1,000%. Go fucking do whatever you want to him. Fuck that piece of shit, right? I don't care where you are, if you're illegal or not, right? And that's what I'm saying though, right? So it's one of those things where it's like I'm not saying no, that shouldn't be a thing. I think it would set the tone, but in that sense, every single state would have to follow in line, right? Everybody has to be on the same page. It just can't be. Well, you have to, separation, within federal and state government, but the local government and state government should be enforcing these laws as well, because it is a national crisis. If you have 20% or 20 out of 50 states participating in the deportation, are we really fixing the problem? Is that really going to be any good? Because guess what? Now you're giving illegal immigrants, the ones that shouldn't be here, right? You're giving them an out, right? You're giving them a safe haven. Yeah. Now, listen, well, Connecticut, where we grew up, it's a safe haven. It's a sanctuary state, right? Now, whether you're in favor of that or not, whatever, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but that's going to be an issue. Those sanctuary states, that's going to be an issue of those states that are going to not want to support Trump in this, and they're going to protect. And whether you want to say that's a good thing or a bad thing, if some people can argue and would argue it's a good thing, but I think in general, if it's going to be successful, all 50 states have to be in line. All 50 states have to follow in line and actually have its due process.
Well, it's a federal crime for an illegal immigrant to come here, I believe, and so it should be the federal government's jurisdiction, no matter what state it's in. And I mean, that's why there's this whole back and forth between the liberal governors and Tom Homan. And I mean, I think it'd be a fun bet to say over or under 1.5 for governors that get arrested by Tom Homan.
Well, that's a big thing. And wait a minute, Brandon.
Okay.
And Cam, wait a minute. One thing is sanctuary cities, for the people in the chat that they don't know, the laws, like the federal laws, they still stand in those states because they're federal laws. But the state decides not to prosecute or not to spend any resources, on chasing people for being illegally here.
Right.
Now this goes much deeper, and I think, Brandon, we sat down with the Texas AG. And if you remember the Texas situation last year, where they almost had a standoff with federal forces.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. That could happen in California now, though.
Listen, one thing is not enforcing the laws, all right, which is pretty bad, but it's, understandable because, I'm all about power to the states. But another thing is impeding the work of the federal government to enforce the law by force, Brandon. They took down all the barriers, and they make them take down, like they put new barriers in,
like that were a little bit farther back, so it wasn't technically on the border.
Yeah.
No, that was insane. Like we were, like if we had 4 more years of this, we probably would have had Texas potentially secede from the states. But now, I mean, California same position, Denver same position. But I don't know. We could talk about this all day, but we're closing in on 2.5 hours now. And I still have to go to the gym, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited for even just tomorrow. Like I'm excited for Trump's first press conference with the hostile media. Like I'm so excited to be back in that climate. No, we're gonna have so much to talk about.
I'm excited to see Pam Bondi.
Yeah.
By
the way, I discovered, because yesterday we had a heated debate about who was Trump's hottest, who's the hottest woman that's ever worked for Trump, and her name came up. Like she's very attractive, but like Elena Haba, Kayleigh McEnany, like you kidding me? Get out of here. But guess how old Pam Bondi is?
30.
28.
You guys know who she is, right?
Yeah.
All right, hold up. I'm gonna pull up a picture quick. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. Don't look at the chat because they're gonna spoil it for you. You're saying 28.
You can see my hands.
Okay, you guys are saying 28.
I would say 30, late 30s.
Have you seen? I'm gonna pull up a picture. Don't look it up. Okay.
Hands.
I know the chat's excited right now because a lot of them were.
I won't even look at
yesterday.
chat. I won't even look at chat. I don't know if they know. Well, I mean, they could probably look it up.
Okay, here we go. All right, so this is her, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd give late 30s. Late 30s.
Final answer. What's your answer? Give an exact number.
Okay, I give you 36.
Okay.
Let me get a zoom in. Let me get a zoom in.
No, but give us more recent pictures, the latest ones.
Yeah.
All right, this is her in freaking.
No, from the hearing.
This is her. This is her in the hearing.
That's a little older. I'm gonna go 48, 49.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you could tell in the nose and here on the neck.
Okay.
All right, maybe 40.
40. Okay.
No, even that one on the right's rougher. I'm gonna go even probably 50. I'm a final answer is 50.
50. Okay. She's 59.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's wow. She's
for
59.
Yeah.
Wow. That one picture though, the one where she's just talking, the other one you had when she was sitting down. Yeah. That's
Let's see what she looked like young. Let's see.
Wow.
Where's the early days? Wow, this is like vintage. This is from like 2010.
Is that 2010?
The hell's this her?
Wow, yeah, it's 59. I mean, it sounds about right.
Jeez, she's old at those black and white pictures.
Bro, that's crazy. Wow.
But yeah, good job, Pam Bondi. Like, I mean, that's like some adrenochrome aging right there.
But Brandon, can I show you something before we leave?
Yes.
This is what I'm seeing on my side, and this is a reality. All right.
Okay.
This is what happens.
All
right.
Yeah.
This is what happens.
Oh boy.
You know, some designs, they're timeless, man. They're timeless. All right.
All right.
You know, this car is from the 70s. This car is from the 70s. This one's from the 80s. But, you know, there's some design that's
that design's still around today.
Yeah. Once you have a Ferrari, it's a Ferrari. That's what it is. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules here.
Damn straight.
I just enforce them.
Okay. That's right. Yeah, she's an antique, but like a
well kept.
Very well kept antique. Yep. Okay. Well, on that note, great chatting with you guys today. We went 2.5 hours strong, and we still have like hours of stuff to talk about if we wanted to. Thank you guys for being on, and see you tomorrow if you guys want to be on again. But you know, I'm still going strong every day. 8:30. I think 8:30 is the decisive time that I'll be on every day. So tell your friends, tell your enemies. 8:30 every night. And,
I'm gonna bring a Bible tomorrow, and I'm gonna make you put your hand on top of it. 8:30 until the end of time, Brandon.
What, and promise 8:30?
Yeah.
Okay.
Swear. So let me swear.
I'll say there's a 99% chance I'll be here 8:30 every night.
You can't put your hand on the Bible if it's 99% chance, Brandon.
Well, what if there's an emergency?
Well, you're gonna stream in the bathroom if it's a Mexican emergency. You're gonna stream in the car.
Mexican emergency.
Oh, it's in the bathroom.
Okay.
Eric says porn stash might have a chance. Damn straight, brother. Come on, man. Come on, baby. Come on.
She said, "How many miles though?" Oh shit.
All right, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, wow.
Wow, Jennifer's pissed. Oh my god, stupid ass. You think a woman who talks like that is in her 30s?
Like,
that's giving her a lot of credit.
I thought she was calling.
Hold on. That's even downplayed. Hold on. What you're saying? A woman in her 30s can't talk like that?
No, I thought she was calling us out for being sexist.
But she's being sexist.
Yeah.
she's out sexisting us, and we're usually pretty sexist.
Oh god!
Wow. I went from thinking Jennifer was like liberal to nothing, and she's like extra based.
Oh,
like maybe too much. Wow. All right. I like the crew that we're assembling here. Oh, jeez.
Shit.
Okay.
Good
Well,
night.
guys, I will
It was a pleasure.
chat with you guys tomorrow night.
You
Thanks
gotta
for watching.
get an out intro. You know what I mean? Like you got the
An
intro,
outro?
you gotta have an outro. You know what I mean? You gotta get one.
Yeah.
You gotta make one.
Should I? No, I can't run the same one as the outro.
I mean, you can. Why not? Do it.
Can I?
That fucking shit is badass, and end it right at the end of it. Go for it.
All right.
Flex it, baby.
And we're out. Nope. And we're out.
And, you know, we talk about the deep state, we talk about the globalists, inflation versus deflation.
Well, I mean,
You're at Mar-a-Lago.
I'm baffled that this isn't front page news.
Do you guys support a specific political party, or do you dislike both of them?
Oh, it worked like a charm on you guys.
Let's go, Brandon.